Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you guys with us, of course. I am sitting here with a bunch of friends about to do Robert E. Howard, which is always a good thing. And we'll be talking about a lot of his different characters. I don't know if we'll get to all of them today, but I certainly have my top 8 or 10 or so that I like, and I'll try to cover those for you. I do have a full cup of hot coffee, which is a good thing, but it's a damn
Ooh,
rainy day
nice.
again.
Oh, well, that makes the coffee taste a little better, doesn't
No,
it?
no, no, not really.
You think coffee's better when it's sunny outside?
I think so. I'm not a
Okay,
big fan of the rain. I mean, I like it because it's necessary, but I played
sure.
football way too long.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Rain equals
yeah,
brownie face.
in equals pain and joints. Yes, and I didn't
Cool.
even get anything out of it. I didn't. It wasn't good enough to make any damn money on it. So I mean, damn.
Did it get you a scholarship? No, that was
No,
your
no, no,
music.
no. It was my music. No, I was a fair middle linebacker, but I pretty much just played rundowns. Running down,
Oh, there
so
you
I
go.
wasn't very good, no. But I liked it though. But and it made my dad
It's
happy, so that's about,
aw,
you know.
so did value.
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, now Robert, Mr. Howard, of course, I think
Mhm.
he had some daddy issues, or were those
Could be.
mommy issues?
Well, I
I'm
think he
not
loved his
sure.
mom. I don't know a lot
Yeah, but
about
that
his.
might
Just a
have been
lot
the
of issues.
that might have been the problem though. Yeah. No, but Robert E. Howard had a lot of issues, and of course, he took his life
Yeah.
way too young.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, who knows? I mean, because he was ridiculously prolific in the short time he did his craft. I just can't imagine if somehow he had stabilized and we got him for an entire lifetime. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh my God. I mean, because I
Like
don't even
every
think.
fifth book would be his.
Well, yeah, but I don't think we saw the zenith of Howard.
No,
I
it's
really
not.
don't.
It's not.
You know, I would agree with most people who would say that Conan is overall is his best works. But and of course, yeah, no, Solomon Kane and King Kull are lesser versions of even Mac Morn. They're lesser versions of Conan for sure. Um,
For the writing style or for the
yeah,
substance of the
no,
stories
just the
or
great writing. Yeah,
Mm,
100%. It is a shame we lost him too soon. But even with that,
yeah.
we have a ridiculous amount of stuff. And of course, the thing about Howard more so than anybody else, I don't know. You guys corrected me if I'm wrong, but um, so many people after Howard died wrote Howard books.
Really?
Oh yes,
Oh,
so many Conan and Kull and so
hmm,
many things were written on those characters that he created after his death. And yeah, I don't know if anybody else is that level of opportunity, I guess I'd say. But of course,
Um,
during the show today, I will ask everybody what their favorite Conan story is, but I'll wait until everybody comes in because you know how these artists are. So.
Yep.
But anyway,
So,
hi Amy, how you doing?
hey, doing all right. Doing all right. Just trying to get some cleaning and reorganizing done, getting my desk sorted out so I can get my computer kind of set up nicely. So it's a little disheveled right now, but we're making it work. It's all right.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Mm,
How about
yeah.
you, Jerry? How you doing, man?
I'm good. We had a little tornado issues here in
Hmm.
Central Texas, but we
Ooh.
managed to come through. Everybody's okay, and now we're gonna draw some cool stuff. So life's good.
Yeah.
No, it is good.
I,
I've seen
it's
three
like,
tornadoes in my life. Three. One
what?
was running alongside us while we were driving a car. That was fun.
Oh boy.
The other one formed in my backyard. But it
Oh,
didn't
okay.
land
Look
there. It
at that.
landed further into the swamp and then tore up a neighborhood on the other side. But it started in my backyard. And I saw the other one was a water spout over the
Oh,
causeway going from Mobile to Fairhope.
my
It's
goodness. That's probably a little closer than I'd want to be to one of those.
it's
Oh,
truly frightening. Yeah,
oh yeah, they are.
it's
They're worse, much
unbelievable.
worse than hurricane.
hurricanes are slow moving. They give you a lot of warning.
Oh
You
yeah,
can
I
get
mean
out of
they'll
them.
still tear the hell out of you. I mean hurricanes are pretty rough, but now tornado is just the sound of it, dude.
They just drop
Yeah.
down and you go boo.
They do, but it's the sound, man. It's like a
Yeah, freight
thousand
train.
freight trains coming right at you, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
crazy.
It is, yeah. But you know, I gave all that up to live in earthquake central. Um, you know, so you know the
No,
funny
they're
thing
just
is,
as surprising as a tornado.
Tsunamis.
yeah, well, it probably a little more shocking. But the thing I've learned though is earthquakes aren't really a big deal. Um,
Stay
well,
real
they're not.
fast.
If you're in a properly Japanese built home, you're good. It's not a
Oh,
problem.
okay.
The problem is the tsunami.
Yeah.
Oof.
Man, water
Those tall
is the
peaks.
absolute king, man.
Mhm.
We can't live in it.
No,
We
but
can live in
it
any.
now water is, I mean, fire is a close second, let's be fair, but
Yeah.
water, man, it's so brutal. It's
The
so brutal.
physics of water
Yeah,
is incredible. The way the weight, the pressure, you can't compact it. It
no.
just
The force.
dominates. Yeah.
It is ridiculous, dude. And when a tsunami comes on you, it isn't what you think. Hollywood always makes these tidal wave movies.
Of course.
But that's not how a tsunami, that's not how they work. It's
Mhm.
actually
No.
a very quiet and subtle thing. It's almost, if you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't notice it until it's like, 30 feet over your head, right? It's
Mm.
slow and methodical, and it just devours everything in front of it. Where a tidal wave is this brutal, aggressive thing. And
Right.
I suppose there are tidal waves as well, but we don't. I don't think I've ever actually seen one on documentary. Anybody?
Mm.
I don't
I don't
think
think so.
no, it's
Can't
Yeah,
the
say.
I've only
tidal
seen
surge.
clips of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I imagine there must be, but it's really the tidal surge or the tsunami that is just ridiculous, man. But and of course, Robert E. Howard had a thing about flooding.
Oh, which books are that?
Well, pretty much everything
Yes.
King Kull is before it, and King Conan is just after it. Now, of course, when you
Right.
get into Mac Morn and of course Sonya and stuff like that, it's way, way, way
Mhm.
later. Those are more contemporary because Mac Morn is a Pictish chief, and of course Sonya, spelled with a Y, not a J, is what,
Right.
15th century, I think.
I think
Now,
so.
I think so,
Just
and of course that's where the Sonya with a J that we know comes from.
mm,
They obviously copied that character, but they threw her back into Conan's, uh,
timeline and took away the guns.
post-Diluvian era. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, whilst we wait for others to come in and give us their most interesting Robert E. Howard stuff, I guess we should
Mhm.
go ahead and start. So, Amy, why don't you give me your best kazoo impersonation? Be Jeff.
Oh, okay. Um.
Okay, there it is. We're going. Now we move.
Yay!
Yes.
Is this right?
Yes. Well, let me go over here and hit that like and share button. You guys do the same, please. And let everybody know that we are in. And of course, come join us. This is really fun. We did Edgar Rice Burroughs a couple weeks ago, and of course, you're
Mm.
talking about contemporaries with each other, and you're talking about people who are both pulp writers. Now, with Edgar Rice Burroughs, he was an adventure writer, right? And
Mhm.
it was pulp, very pulpy, super pulpy, but it was adventure. Now he, I'm not going to sit here and say his stuff didn't have its brutal moments, but it also, I don't know, it carried a little more whimsy with it, I feel. But
Oh,
Howard doesn't know the definition of the word whimsy.
you don't think so?
No. I'm pretty sure he's never used that word in his life. Dark,
He's got a
brooding,
word. Mm.
brutal, vicious is Howard. And many people I don't know. I don't know that I disagree, but many people consider him to be the greatest pulp writer of all time. Um, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you agree with
I
that or disagree?
I I could not think of anyone you would say would be better. I mean,
Maybe Burroughs.
it's
People would certainly like Burroughs. What do you think, Eric?
Man, it's he might be.
like in
You popped out there, Eric. Something happened in your mic?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, he might be. He definitely might be.
Yeah, he's it is impressive. And if you haven't read any of his stuff, I I suggest you do. I can certainly give you some recommendations because there's a lot of work. Robert E. Howard is really prolific. But
yeah, absolutely.
whilst these guys get their basic stuff in shape, I guess I will come over here and talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
So let me do that. And then that, and then you guys can see what I'm doing. But let me bring
Mhm.
up my page here and talk about it a little bit. Now, this is a great little shot that Eric found. I don't know where he found it, but this is great because it's got all these different characters in here. You
Oh, that's
got,
cool.
yeah, no, you get the Pictish chief over here. You got Solomon Kane. You have King Kull, of course, Conan, and multiple other ones. I can't remember that guy who's the with Sonya. Kind of surprised he didn't throw Sonya in here, but I guess it's just a
She
picture.
might be cut off on the edge. There was too many of them to fit in.
I see. Well, the reason why no one really affiliates Sonya with Howard is because the Sonya everyone knows, with a J, it's inspired by his character, but thrown into the Conan period. It's not the
Right.
same character, but it's clearly inspired by her. I mean, she's a ridiculous, huge head of red hair, right? Adventurous, swashbuckling type character. But so technically, Sonya with a J is not a Howard character, but it is.
But yes, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's take a look here. Now, of course, his pinnacle and honestly his books he's written are Conan. I mean, I don't argue that at all. And he, of course, I don't even know how many there are. There's a ton of them.
That's good
And
painting.
and keep in mind, in Weird Tales, he did a lot of stuff, just like Burroughs and others that we've talked about. It was quite popular at that time to write in magazines and even newspapers, right? They would have
Mhm.
short stories in newspapers. So, it was a very popular thing, and Howard was no different. Of course, he put out a lot of his own book stuff as well. And like I said, he died very young, and in his very short period of time, what it was like 8 years, 7 years, something like that. Um,
Mhm.
he put out an insane amount of work. I just, it's a shame. I don't even think
I
we
never
got.
knew he killed himself. I
Oh,
didn't
you
even
didn't
know
know
that.
that? Oh yeah,
No.
he suicided.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
But he, yeah. I mean, I don't think we were at the zenith of Howard yet. I don't think we got that. Even though it's what we did get is quite amazing. There would have been we would have got more. But then again, it probably would have been very similar to Burroughs. We talked about Burroughs a couple weeks ago. Of course, he lived a long time and he put out a huge amount of work too. But as time went by, his stuff became more and more tired. And then some of his later books kind of sparked up and became better again. And it's because, how often can you write the same thing, right?
Mm.
right, right.
So maybe with Howard, him dying young, maybe we did get the best of it. Maybe that's the reality of it. Because honestly, Burroughs' most famous book is the first one that everyone knows. It's the very first one not the first he wrote, but the first one that became popular.
You think so?
The Princess of Mars. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And I don't think anyone argues that's his best book. But of course, now Conan has been adapted in many, many ways. And in cinema, they've never done the character correctly. Although everyone does love the Arnold movie, and why not? Well,
His
it's
own
good.
creation.
Well, it's good
It's just good
fun.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. It's not Conan at all.
Nope.
But then again, we haven't ever seen Conan. I mean, you got to understand Conan. How did he start? What's his origin? Well, he's a Cimmerian, which we call a Celt today, right? And of course, this is just after the deluge or the flood, the Great Flood, is when his stories are set. Howard actually was very interested in history, and he was especially prehistory stuff, which I myself am also very interested in. He actually created maps, of his
Ooh.
opinion of what the ancient world might have looked like, and he wasn't far off as far as how
So
we
he.
see it, as because the ocean level is much higher today than it was after the Younger Dryas events, right? Um,
Mhm.
so he gathered from historians some pretty accurate information, even though today, we do know more about it. But
Sure.
So that was kind of cool. But the way Conan started was actually like this. He was a young man. I don't really know if we had an age, but he was young. And I think he was like he got in a fight, or there was like a scrap of one of his the other village kids, and the kid died, I think, and he ran away to not face punishment. He was scared and he ran. And of
That's
course,
cool.
yeah, well, and I think that ran right into the story of the surviving Anunnaki type Atlanteans in the north, the giants, of course, and all of that weirdness. That's how, because Conan starts really weird. It's almost like a fantasy pseudo sci-fi the way it starts. He kind of falls deeper into the fantasy later, but and of course we haven't seen this. We saw with Arnold, his family was killed and he was put into slavery. And then the Jason Momoa one, which you won't hear me mention that again. Um,
What now?
Is it
it
that bad? Because I've never watched it.
it's pretty awful, dude. Um,
Okay.
the problem is it's got a couple of good scenes, as pretty much any movie does, but it's just really empty
Yeah.
Okay.
in many
Mm.
ways, and that's never a good thing, dude. You don't want your movie to feel empty unless it's a movie about one person in space or something,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. That
Yeah,
that could then you're going for that kind of just
yeah.
solitude.
To be fair, the best part of it was when before they killed Ron Perlman. Spoilers. I mean, he's a
Poor
jerk,
Mr.
but
Pullman.
he is good at what he
Well,
does.
that's in
Yeah,
real life too. So
yeah. No, no, I meant in real life. Yeah.
I know.
Um,
I know.
but anyway, and it goes on and on and on with Conan stuff, and like I said, his best writing is Conan. He could feel the passion. He really loved this character. But of course, there are other characters he had, and I'll go through them. And whilst these guys are getting their stuff started, we'll go take a look at what they're doing. But Bran Mak Morn is a Pictish chief fighting against the Romans. Of course, a losing battle. Now, it's interesting he looked at it like that because, to be fair, the Romans never conquered the Picts. That's why they built Hadrian's Wall across the entirety of Britain, so that they could keep them out. So it is interesting that the whole stuff with Morn is, the inevitable lost battle feeling that goes on in these books. And they're good,
What about
actually.
Ben?
No one talks about Bran Mak Morn ever, but some of his best books are that character. So I don't really know why no one talks about it. Have you guys ever heard of Bran Mak Morn?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Um, I know Solomon Kane and Conan pretty well, and I know a lot of the Western books. Those are a lot of fun, but I'm not sure the name sounds familiar, but I can't exactly lay a finger on it.
Oh, there you go. Most people don't know, even though I'd say two of those Bran McMorn books are actually great. Maybe even top 10 for him. And of course, one of them, which would be in that top 10, in my opinion anyway, is a crossover with Cull. even though King Kull
Oh,
is an Atlantean period king. What is it? Alucia?
oh,
Is that the name of the kingdom he rules? But that's before the flood, right?
oh,
But
okay.
he time
Well,
travels and helps out fight the Romans. So
I mean, if he's Atlantean, obviously he has a time machine.
obviously, yeah.
Right.
Well, actually, the King Kull books, he's
Yeah,
mostly in his capital. I mean, they're not out in the
really.
wild a lot. The one with Bran
That
Mak
makes
Morn,
sense.
you actually see him in battle, which is kind of interesting because
Oh,
most of his stuff is more political, really.
I mean, if
Uh,
you're going to be a king, you do kind of have to be within the realm of your kingdom.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course, he did the same thing with Conan for 2 seconds, and then Conan deciding he didn't want to be king and went back to war. So the King Conan thing that everyone's like, oh, I want a King Conan movie. It's like, have you read King Conan? I mean, no, you don't.
Yeah. Your king and I went, nah. You know what? I'm just going to go cause some trouble just because this is boring. Oh
I was
boy, that's not.
so excited to see
Yeah.
the King Kull movie with Kevin
Hmm.
Sorbo. I won an actual Darth Vader lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back. I have the certificate and everything. But that was a really, really bad movie.
That was
Not
bad.
so.
It
Oh,
was really
okay.
bad. But I was lucky to be like a red carpet opening for that movie. It's like the only maybe yeah, man, I think it's the only time in my life I've been to one of those type of openings. Like I said, I got that lightsaber, which I'll cherish for the rest of my life. From that event, my wife's lottery ticket won, and she was too shy to go up, and I went up, and they picked a bunch of lottery tickets, and whoever could do their best Darth Vader impression won. I was me.
Oh, nice. You did? Oh,
I
awesome.
did. I did. Well, I won mainly because everyone else was really too shy to just do it. I don't know this word shy,
Right. You're helpful.
so
So your wife was too shy to even go up and would certainly be too shy to do Darth Vader.
it was super cool though because it came in a nice case. It's an
Mhm.
actual from the movie prop. And I have like a book with certification in and scenes with that one was used in and all kind of stuff. It was really cool.
Nice.
And I don't know
what's
why they were
what's the
giving away a lightsaber at a Kull movie.
That was my question.
You
What's
know,
the connection
I have
between? Is it the
Because I know
same? Maybe the same prop house, or people worked on
Jordan.
both movies?
Mhm.
I maybe I have no idea, dude. I really don't.
That's weird.
But I didn't complain about it
I have
because that's
a
the only
feeling you
good
weren't
thing that
going
came out of that movie ever in the history of ever. Because
and
that
you
was a
won.
bad movie. Anyway, moving along
Do
here.
you still have?
Of course, I got to sit in here in the other room. That's a cherished item. That's an actual.
Nice.
That's an actual Darth Vader lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back.
Wild.
You just don't understand nerds. You just don't, Amy.
Yeah.
I guess I don't get to the
That's
degree, but it does sound
that's the
amazing.
Screen
Golden Corral right there. Okay.
screen used prop is. I mean, if nothing else, that's big money on the collector
Yeah.
market.
It is, and it's the one. Of course, it shows up in several scenes, but it's the one. It's kind of funny. I learned because I own this that the scene where you see Darth Vader cutting off Luke's hand. Spoilers. It's actually different cuts and different lightsabers being used at the time of shooting. The one I have is used in that scene where he gets his hand cut off, and a few others. But it's when the shot where his arm is raising just behind Darth Vader, and you see the blue
Mhm.
lightsaber, and Luke is in the background. And then the next one where you see him come swinging down is actually a different cut and a different prop.
Huh.
Yeah.
Are they just made for different ranges,
I
or
think they probably had a whole bunch of them, and they would shoot things at different times, and whichever one made it off the editing, it stayed off the editing floor, I think. Uh, but um,
interesting?
but yeah, so it's in a few other scenes too, but that's the most recognizable where he's raising it. It's like a second, right?
Nice.
But they had a screen capture of it with the book I got, so it's pretty cool.
Put that next to the lightsaber itself got framed.
I
We
wish
just
I had
have
a
that kind of.
lightsaber. That would be cool. But let's see here. Doug says Howard is great, but I always had a soft spot for Raymond Chandler. Sure. Maybe it's all those noir movies. Yeah, no, I love those noir things too, dude. But anyway, let me keep moving on here. Of course, the Queen of the Black Coast story has Bellet in it, and even though spoiler, well, I won't spoil it. She only
Yeah,
shows up in that one story. She is memorable. It's
she's
actually a
amazing.
really good female character.
And
He
your
writes
favorite character?
his
Oh, I like
female
Bellet.
characters really were, I thought, pretty consistently good.
Yeah, no, he's a good. He writes women well.
Mhm.
They're strong, but in the right way.
Yeah, not
Um,
obnoxious. They just have to live.
yeah, and of course, Conan at that time. I don't know if this was a conscious thought by Howard or not, but Conan at that time when he met Bellet, he was kind of a wild, out of sorts, directionless thing.
Hmm.
And even though she's a villain, because she's a pirate or a piratess, she put him on the right track, ironically.
Yeah,
So,
she was pretty
uh,
noble.
well, well, but
Dude,
anyway,
no, for real. I think that you're on the. Honestly, she gave him, like you said, that direction where
yeah,
he saw that gathering people to him and having them work together as a team. And of course, he was sort of crushing on Bellet too,
real,
which
well,
helped.
mega crushing. Well, that's why I
Yeah,
said ironically, because spoilers,
yeah,
her death is what puts him on direction,
yeah.
right?
It,
Um,
it, I think it would have, because the trajectory of the story would have completely changed. If he'd really been in love with her, he would have stayed or whatever. And instead, he
maybe,
goes off to
yeah,
try to make it happen, to
he
make
would have just been
him
a
happen.
pirate, yeah, and then of course
Yeah.
goes on to greater things. I was the Tower of the Elephant after that, maybe. I'm not sure. But
Dude, I
anyway,
don't
moving
think.
along. Of course, a very important character if for anyone who reads Howard, even though she's in on one story, she is persistent. Of course, here is Red Sonja with a Y of Ragatino. This is The Shadow of the Vulture. It's one of his better books. And it's set in I think the 15th century or 14th century or something like that. It's a very modern thing, and I had heard that uh, she is actually a historical character based on a historical character, an actual one. I don't know if that's true, but it is a good book though. So if you want to read Howard stuff that's not Conan, this Shadow of the Vulture is a good one. Like I said, we do have the modern Sonya with a J, but and it's not the same character, but it's based on this one. So, of course, yeah, here's the one I was talking about earlier, the Tower of the Elephant. It depends on who you are, but a lot of people consider this be the best Conan book. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's my second favorite, but it is an amazing, and he meets an elder god basically, and it's really really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really really good. There's a really bad B movie that's called The Tower of the Elephant, and it's really bad.
Oh, okay. So
But
not good at all.
no,
So don't go watch it.
but the thing is, it does follow the book really well though.
Does it?
Oh,
It does. It's just really bad B schlock crap. The guy in it, he's the correct size for Conan, but I mean, like, where'd they find that ape? I don't know. Maybe he played football,
Good.
but whatever.
That
You
maybe.
can find it if you search. Moving along here, we have, of course, the Shadow Kingdom, which is I don't even think it's arguable. It's the best King Kull book, plain and simple. Here's a piece of art of King Kull. But
Oh,
yeah, but this I think is the original art, and it's
Dude,
a
nice.
it's a weird, trippy book, man, but it's really good. The Shadow Kingdom is an excellent book, in my opinion, and I don't think anyone argues this is the best Kull book, King Kull. So Can someone tell me why the Kevin Sorbo movie they didn't call it King Kull and just Kull? Were they trying to make a franchise? I bet you they were.
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Um, yeah, and of course another great book, and I have to mention it simply because it's one of his better known characters, but it's also the best of that character is Solomon Kane. And of course this is the what is this one called again? Wings of the Wings in the Night. Wings in the Night. Solomon Kane. Um, it's a fun character. Of course, this is set way close to our time, right? He's always jumped
Mhm.
through time, Howard. But this one is set in Africa, interestingly enough, and Solomon is actually helping a African, black African tribe. He's helping them with a problem they have because Solomon Kane is basically like a demon hunter, kind of dude is what he does. But Wings of the Night is really good and it's pretty short. So
That's
those
such
are
a just
these are the books I liked, so I just thought I'd share them. Therefore, let me come back over here and take a look what everybody's doing. And Eric's coming right along. So anybody here have a favorite? Let's start easy. Favorite Howard character? What do you think, Eric?
But it's kind of easy to just say Conan. I'll say Conan.
It is
Though
his.
Solomon Kane is really cool though.
He is
Yeah.
cool. Solomon Kane is super cool. But Conan's his best writing though, just as far as
Yeah,
pure
yeah.
writing, ability and just the joy of reading. Some of his
And
short
has made it
stories are
further
good.
in pop culture too.
Way more, way more. Yeah, way
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
But it is his best stuff. Now he has a lot of short things like he did a lot of horror stuff. I mean, obviously it's all kind of horrific anyway. But the Rattle of Bones is a short story from him that I think is fairly well known. And it's great. Go read it. It's good fun. Yeah, it's and you can read it pretty quickly. I'd say it probably only take about 30 minutes or so.
Oh
Or for
wow.
an hour, fine. But it's really good though.
It's the
Let's see.
size of a comic book?
It's yeah, no, it's just a short story. It's not very long. But I think it might have been one of his newspaper ones or magazine ones. Weird Tales,
Gotcha.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's not long at all. But it is fantastic. But all right, Conan's easy. What do you think, Amy? Who's your favorite Howard character?
yeah, it would almost have to be Breckenreed.
Why?
Because the stories are so funny.
Funny.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know Breckenreed, so I haven't read that.
Oh, you
I've
should. Those are
never
some of his Western books.
I've never
They're
read a funny Howard thing.
His westerns are hilarious.
oh my
Oh,
gosh.
didn't know that. I
You'll be
never read a Howard
insulted.
Western. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fantastic.
It's like
And not
he
all
wrote
of them are fun, but
tons
the
of them.
ones that are absolutely just
Well,
they're a hoot.
like Pistol Politics, that's a great one.
Oh wow.
But
I've never read him. I guess I should check it out. I know
you absolutely.
well, I got into Howard because my
Mhm.
father read Howard. And I was kind of a kid desperate for anything to read, and I
Mhm.
would read things on that were any shelf that were near me. So I that's how I know Howard is through my father would
Oh,
Conan and
so
things
other
like that.
books that were around.
Yeah. I did buy my dad's years ago. I bought him. I think it was
Mhm.
called the Red Collection. Is the complete collection of Conan works put into
Nice.
chronological order or something like that. I bought.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was what gigantic book, and the whole thing's in that.
You bet. Man, and that was in the order there, like story-wise, it would be like from youngest Conan to eldest, not necessarily the
Yeah,
order in which they're printed.
it was, and it's a leather bound book. It's much bigger than a normal book, maybe double the size of a standard book, and it was in its own little dust cover case and everything. Yeah, it was a collector's edition type thing.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Nice.
he does love Conan, um, so it was a good purchase for him. But
Yeah, absolutely.
excellent. So Melissa, hi.
Hello.
Do you have an
Hi,
opinion on
Melissa.
this matter?
I agree with Amy. I mean, I got the Rise of Conan and that and politics mixed up, and I ended up doing a Pistol Politics entry last week. So I should probably make do a Tarzan just to keep it
You
fair.
should. Yeah, that's what you should do. Yeah,
Just
you
need
should.
to balance it, of
Yeah,
course.
Tarzan. To be fair, I mean the look of Conan and Tarzan are similar, right?
Mhm.
Are very similar. Uh, but I get it. Cool. All right. And how about you, Jerry? What do you think?
So being a Gen X kid, I think the proliferation of Conan through so many different media, just that to me, it's quintessential Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, I was super inspired before I could even read. You could see the covers of Frazetta.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Now Frazetta
it
was
was
a
all.
big part of that, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have somebody like Frazetta doing those covers, is the book as popular? Does it
Mhm.
attract as many readers? So you can really chalk that up. So again, from an artistic standpoint, for me, Conan is where it's at because of all those different things. We were talking earlier. It's John Buscema
Mhm.
and his Marvel run,
Right.
and then everything that came out of it just is super inspiring and led a kid from a comic to then go, well, let's read the source material. So
Right.
which you just don't see these days.
Well, especially these days, but when we were young, reading was still, fundamental.
Right.
Yeah. Then I remember every year getting those free Riff books. It was great. It was best time of school year for me.
For
But
sure.
for sure, those are awesome, man. But
Scholastic Book Fair.
yeah. Um, but they probably just do just pure Scholastic now. But when I was a kid, it was reading is fundamental. Riff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay.
But yeah, no, and of course the Marvel run is very famous. But to be completely fair, the Dark Horse run is the quintessential Conan, though,
Hmm.
in
A
my
lot of people
opinion. Now,
really do like those.
Yeah, no, Titan has been doing stuff out of France, and I haven't read those yet. I need to. Their Elric was freaking phenomenal. My God.
Really?
Oh
Okay.
my God. That's Moorcock, right? Um, uh,
Yeah.
did the original stuff, and it was very psychedelic, 70s colored, very Celtic art, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, he looks like Bonnie Winter too. I mean, that
yeah,
helps him a lot.
yeah, well, but I mean, and I love the original comics. I read them, uh, but no, the Titan run is insane. So I do have to check out the Conan one. But for me, it's Dark Horse. And the reason I say that, well, the art's better. For
That was
one,
Carrie Nord, right? Wasn't it?
I couldn't tell you, dude. Um,
I believe it was.
yeah, I'm one of those people that doesn't pay attention who the artist is.
Yeah. That's all I pay attention to.
I know you're an artist, but I never, I the names I know are just ones that were in my face constantly, like Chris Claremont,
Oh,
I
right?
don't know.
as a right.
As the
See
writer,
here.
yeah. I mean that's why I remember because I read the same thing over and over. But anyway,
Trying to
but
see here.
other than the art with the Dark
Yeah,
Horse run,
Carrie
which
Nord.
was phenomenal, um, I like the way they went about it because Conan has a bunch of enemies throughout his books, but the most quintessential is the Tharizdun, or what's his name?
Thulsa Doom.
Thulsadun,
Also,
the wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
And
yeah.
Is that
he
James Earl Jones?
no, that wasn't the same character at all.
yeah.
Okay.
But nevertheless, he was a little bit magical, and he killed it at Anybody surprised?
Of course he did.
Anybody?
Nope.
No. He was awesome. That guy just has presence. He just stands and just he doesn't have to say a damn thing. James Earl
He's so
Jones.
good.
He's
But
so
when he
good.
does open his mouth, it's an incredible voice.
It is, yeah. No, he's so killer.
Right.
And he's such a nerd too, which is awesome. But
Oh, he's
in
better.
real life, yeah, he's actual. He's one of us. But
Yeah.
but nevertheless, um, the whole story is being told in the Dark Horse version, right? Telling the stories of Conan. What they're doing is there's a prince who is it's in much more modern times, like maybe Roman time or something like that. I forget exactly what the date. No, it probably would have been 1,000 years ago during the Crusades, I guess. But anyway, this prince is being transported to see his father, and I think he did something wrong, and he's going to have to face some kind of punishment. And along the way, his father's vizier is with him and trying to educate him and correct him. But the vizier is actually Thulsa Doom
Ooh.
in disguise, who's survived. And the whole story kicks off because they are just stopping for the night, and there's like a broken down tomb that they go in and check out, and it's the tomb of Conan.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
And it's ruined and
that's cool.
broken. And of course, the prince wants to know who this mighty hero was. And of course, Thulsa Doom knows exactly who he is. So the whole rest of the trip is him telling the stories of Conan. And that's how
Wow.
they lay it out. And it's just cool as shit, dude. And it doesn't hold back. The art is amazing. Yeah, I love the Dark Horse run, dude.
Does he speak of Conan favorably?
Well, I mean, he speaks. Yeah, well, in a way, I mean, he respects Conan.
Respectfully.
It's his greatest enemy, right? Um,
Sure.
yeah, so they don't do that. That could have been even a deeper twist if they did something like that for real Howard fans. That would have been cool, but they didn't. No, they were faithful to the source material.
Mhm.
But it's just where the story. Of course, you'll see with not every episode, but you'll see like a episode or a comic will come, and
Mhm.
it's back to the prince and the vizier talking, and then boom, we get the Conan. The rest of it's just the Conan, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, but it's really neat.
That's a cool storytelling technique to
It
do it
is,
that
isn't
way.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a
Yeah,
lot.
unique and different. Yeah.
From the point of view of his greatest enemy, who ultimately wins
I guess so.
because
But
he's still alive. Conan's dead.
right. Yeah. I will say this though, the Barry Windsor Smith black and white stuff from the Conan magazine,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
which was different than the standard Marvel run, is phenomenal. Again, from an artistic standpoint, you
I
look at
prefer it.
yeah,
I prefer it.
it's so good. It's of course it's a larger format. It's black and
Mhm.
white, so it's more of that exquisite line work that Barry Windsor Smith was
Mm.
known for. Um, I mean, you can't. If you ask like, what's your favorite Conan story? I mean,
Right.
I have to say Red Nails because that's the Barry Windsor Smith story. It's to me the two are interchangeable or interlocked. You can't take one without the other.
Red Nails. That's not Solomon Kane. Barry, what's his name? Windsor Smith.
Barry Windsor Smith,
Do you not know who Barry Windsor Smith is?
yeah.
I probably
Dear
do,
God,
but
Chester.
I'm not good with name stuff that doesn't have a
okay.
date attached to it.
It's okay.
So good.
If it's not at least 1,000 years old,
If you would like to know when California was purchased, I can tell you this.
when was California purchased?
That's true.
He drew the Weapon X miniseries in Marvel Presents.
Oh, then I know exactly who he is because that was awesome.
Okay.
That was after he so he was essentially a Jack Kirby clone in the early days because
Oh,
that's
dude.
what the Office made you do, right? That was
Right.
sort of the
Sure.
house style, if you
Makes
will.
sense.
And he worked on stuff like Kazar and some other type books. And then they came around, they got the Conan license. And they start going around the office going, okay, who wants this job? Who wants to do Conan? And everybody at the time was like licensed books and
Ew.
sorceries. I'm not going to make
Yeah.
any royalties off it. So everybody
Yeah.
passed. Like everybody passed. And then they wanted, I think originally the guy was, they wanted John Buscema. He was the guy. But they had to pay him too much and the
Sure.
licensing money wouldn't cover it. So they find this new kid, and at the time he wasn't called Barry Windsor Smith, he was just Barry Smith.
Uh-huh.
And they go,
Mhm.
hey kid, you want a job? You need a regular gig. And he goes, okay. And he really makes it his own and develops that style that we know that you see from that Weapon X story and
Oh,
that
dude, it's
intricate,
so
amazing
good.
line
It's
work.
so
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had
So you
no
take,
idea.
I'm showing
I
art
just looked
right now. It's his landscapes are killer. Yeah.
oh, for sure.
I had no idea that he actually did a Elric Conan crossover. I've never seen this before.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Yeah. Did a Conan the Barbarian, the coming of Elric, a sword called Stormbringer, and it's Conan going up against Elric.
Now,
Um,
is it in the magazine? In the
Yes.
Conan
That's
yeah.
Savage
Yeah.
Sword of Conan, like
Savage-
1980.
oh, there
Conan
you
the
go.
Barbarian.
Our
That's amazing.
information guy showed up. Sweet.
Now, I gotta bounce, Al. I love you, but I gotta go check on some floodwaters that are rising. So I love you. I just had to be careful.
Bye.
This
Enjoy
is topic.
enjoy the flood.
Don't
Thanks.
drown,
So
turn around.
blah 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 blah. Night night.
Bye, brother. Yeah.
Bye.
Now you're right. This guy
Elrod,
is killer.
did Mr. Softy release you?
Oh, I know
Yeah.
Alex said he
Trust me, he
wanted.
lives up to his name. Good.
Goodness gracious.
Hey, Alpha.
Alpha.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Alpha. So it's your turn. Would you like to tell us your favorite Howard character?
I guess Conan, because like I seen movies of him and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
that's
a
a good
reason.
reason.
So you've never read a
He
Howard
probably.
book?
No, I don't read
Oh,
things
fair.
without pictures.
Fair.
The Conan video game is amazing. That's what I've
Yeah,
heard.
especially the original that came out. They ended up abusing the hell out of that. But when it first came out as the MMO, it was great. I was actually in day one. on that.
Nice.
Yeah, I was part of the beta testing group for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool because first I think there were like just
Amy
10.
said, right, like, yeah, sure, Chester.
Oh no, I was.
Oh, and I believe it. That's kind of the way it sounded.
No, I was part of beta testing groups for the Conan game. I got the box set for it. I was part of City of Heroes. I was part of
Such a beta.
Champions.
Magic the Gathering.
No, well, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Well,
it
kind of.
was,
You have
yeah.
the
In a way, but that's a little different though because at that time I was really paying attention to video games a lot, and I'd sign up for stuff.
Ah.
And sometimes you get into like the first 1,000 or 10,000 beta testers, or sometimes it would just be the wait beta, meaning as many people as they can throw in.
Right.
But I just did a lot of that kind of stuff. I was I don't think I wasn't with the very first, I wasn't with any of the alpha stuff, but I did do a beta for Dungeons and Dragons Online, and I think it was one more. What was that one called? Raiders with a Z.
More extreme.
Yeah, and that
Sounds cool.
Well, it was cool. It was a really fun game actually. It went away, and they keep
Okay.
threatening us that they're going to bring it back. It's supposed to be but I guess it's been in development hell for a decade. But that was a fun game. Yeah, I used to do a lot of that. You guys never did beta testing stuff?
Not to think
Dude,
so.
I'm totally an alpha.
Okay, that's fine.
We
Bruh.
have testers.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's fun. Yeah, it's not
About it.
hard to do. Anybody can do it. If you're active,
It's
involved
helpful.
in the communities and paying attention, you can do all kind of stuff like that. But it was a lot of fun. I think well there were no, I wasn't with that one in the beginning. I did something with Elder Scrolls Online though. I don't know what that was. Maybe I just paid for it and I got early access. Maybe.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Is it a game you enjoy?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Conan was better.
To be fair, Dungeons and Dragons Online is one of the better MMOs I've ever played. To be honest with you,
Ooh.
I also was very, very active with Lord of the Rings Online. I wasn't involved in the beta testing in that. I don't think. No, I wasn't. But I was
People
a
still complain that that's going, right?
dude. What? Say that again.
People are mad that that's gone.
Well,
They got rid of it.
it's still around.
Still popular, yeah.
Yeah. And you have a kind of a little solo team that does do updates and improvements and stuff. So I wouldn't say it's completely dead. But I played that religiously for quite a while. And that is a good game, dude. It really is. Anyway, we're talking about Conan. So
Yes.
uh,
Adventurer.
am I wrong, or was there a Conan cartoon?
There
Yes.
was.
Yeah, he had a monkey bird.
What? Okay.
Yes.
There was also a
He had
live
a monkey
action
bird.
TV show.
A live action TV show. I didn't know about
The
that.
guy from Gladiator.
Uh-huh. It's one of, I think it's one of Arnold's stunt guys. He's got this real thick, heavy accent. And he
No,
played
he
Conan.
was just a workout guy because he couldn't stunt for him because he's like huge. It's like 6'8".
Is he the one I saw that really bad B movie of Tower of the Elephant?
Yes, it was like they made it in Mexico. It looks like someone made it in their backyard.
Yeah, no, it was really bad. It was really bad. Conan the Adventurer, it's called. Okay.
What's the best?
Oh, and
movie
they played that. They spent money like I remember when that came out, like
Mhm.
they did like TV specials talking about it happening. Like
Wow.
Schwarzenegger was plugged and everything, and
Yeah.
it was like, oh, this sounds impressive. And then you watch it, and you're like, ooh,
Oh,
I
yeah,
see
no,
why they
yeah.
were
It's this dude. Yeah, it is this dude. He's a meathead.
Rolf Mueller.
Yeah.
He's a
He's a
meathead.
huge
No, it's
weightlifter,
horrible.
bodybuilder.
It's so bad. But it's actually sticks to the book pretty well, though. Oddly enough.
Yeah, just in a Power Rangers kind of way.
Well, it's much better than Arnold's. What book was that from? I don't know.
The
There were little
Holiday
pieces.
Call of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Call of Atlanta.
I guess when he's climbing the Serpent Tower, I guess maybe that's supposed to be a reference to the Tower of the Elephant. Maybe I don't know.
I guess.
There's an elephant in
That's
it?
what I always thought as a kid.
Yeah, but it's all right though. Arnold's movie is great fun. The second one we shan't talk about. Okay.
What now?
Um,
It's
the
the
one
best
Grace
movie
Jones?
ever made.
Second Conan, the second Arnold movie. Oof.
Yes.
Dude, Elrod, you've done cursed me because now I have to go watch the damn TV series again. Damn it.
Now the only thing that
They did Tower of the Elephant in the first one. Whew.
Yeah.
The only thing the second movie had going for it was the behind the scenes stories of Wilt Chamberlain and Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
There's some amazing stories that came out of that production with those two guys. Like unbelievable stuff.
And of
Oh,
course,
Pat Roach was in it.
Who?
Pat Roach, famed wrestler, and the guy who was thrown in the propeller of the plane, and the German mechanic from Raiders.
That guy has
Oh.
died in like every Indiana Jones movie. He's also in Temple of Doom. He's the guy who gets crushed by the rock crusher.
He's
It's the
the
same
guard.
actor. Yeah, the guard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for
Who was he in Conan?
second, because they cut out the scene.
Oh,
The wizard
was
that
he-
lives in that ice island.
Yeah, and he turns into the monster. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like
now,
he's like a Halloween mask with arms.
now, of course, this the second one still had Mako in it, which is cool because he's very important for those movies. I think had Grace Jones as well, which I'm showing, and I was just thinking to myself, what was her character name? And now I found it, Zulu. Really?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say, was it Zula?
On the nose.
Really.
The Moorish maiden.
But of course, she actually, I'd say Grace looks more Nigerian to me. But anyway,
She fit in
because
that world, though, right? She was perfect.
yeah, she was good. I liked her. Of course, Wilt Chamberlain's name was Bombahata. And he was there to make sure that Arnold didn't have sex with the princess. I think he failed.
Oh, and Sarah Douglas was in it. The Kryptonian woman.
Yes,
She's the main villain.
She's the one that sends him. Yeah, she sends him off to get the horn.
That's right. She's the
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Ursa?
Queen Teramis.
The
No, but
evil
from
wind.
Superman 2, was she Ursa? Was that what it was?
Yeah, no,
Yes,
you're probably right. You're probably right. Let me go check. I'm showing the
Superman 2.
DV
Kryptonian.
page. Yeah, you're probably right. She was Ursula, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, she did a
The
lot
real
of
life
nothing.
evil Lynn.
Yeah.
So here's a topic suggestion
What,
for
a lot of nothing. She was in
do a draw
Beastmaster
off
2
of,
through the Portal of Time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
do a draw off of Terrence Stamp characters.
That sounds familiar.
Terrence
Oh dear
Stamp
God,
is Zod.
Chester.
Did you say God? Zod.
Zod.
He's so good. Sorry, I digress.
He's cool. To be fair, in that horrible
My
Batman.
mom had a crush on Terrence Stamp.
Well, he's a handsome fella. Now that horrible Batman Superman versus Superman movie.
He was the boy.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the 60s, he was like the it boy of the time.
Was he?
Yeah.
Like young Terrence Stamp. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Modesty Blaze.
I don't know anything about that.
It wasn't a really big blaze, just a modest.
Dagoth, Andre the Giant.
And he played a 23-year-old in the 90s in Young Guns.
All right, fine. I will go look up Terrence Stamp then. Be like that.
Oh my
God.
You still haven't figured out who he is?
I know who he is. He played Zod.
What is he in Blood? He's John. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Tunstall?
Tunstall, yeah.
It was Tunstall.
Maybe. That might be right. That might be.
No,
it's a real guy. It's a real person. It's
like we need to hire like a 70-year-old British guy.
Yeah.
He's in like it said it showed him as in something currently the Limey, whatever that is. But yeah, no, I know who he is. But what I was trying to say in Batman versus Superman movie, which was a train wreck of a movie, however, the guy who played Zod, he was excellent.
Oh.
It is kind of crazy.
Oh, he's a good actor.
Well, that was
He's good, yeah.
I actually preferred. I don't know. The Terrence Stamp Zod was perfectly and beautifully imperious. He really was.
Yes.
Whereas the new guy, what's the new guy's name?
Michael Shannon had one good line in that movie.
Michael Shannon, thank you. Yeah. He played more of a military man.
Marbly mouth man.
I didn't like his little shaggy.
Yeah, that was his best line.
That bothered me.
Oh, yes, he had the shaggy beard. That soul patch.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, right.
The Kryptonian soul patch.
That's true.
Just go full goatee. We all know what it means. Or I guess I should go full Van Dyke.
We know you're evil.
Right.
Yes. But I did like him. I liked him in the role, though. I did like him. He was cool. But no, Terrence Stamp, he was imperious and perfect.
What was it? He's like, you grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
Right.
So what? His name is Michael Shannon.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Mm-hmm.
He played a great George Jones too in the documentary about George Jones and Tammy Wynette.
Really?
Yes. It is really good.
Wow.
I guess it's not a documentary, it's just a series about their lives, yeah.
Huh.
It came out last year, maybe.
He is in a
It
lot
was
of
a
stuff.
series on. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
A whole bunch of stuff. Let me see here.
First thing I saw him in was Boardwalk on HBO.
Pearl Harbor. Okay, I didn't know he was in that. Vanilla Sky. He's in a bunch of stuff. He's like a background character, huh?
Yeah, he's one of those
Character actor.
guys you've
Yeah.
seen, and I've seen him in something. What was
Yeah.
it?
Trying to think off the tip of my tongue, something he did somewhat recently that was big, but it was not a good movie. The only good part of it was actually him. What was the name of that
Not many
stupid
good
movie?
movies.
That doesn't narrow it down.
No, it was stupid. It was like, I remember now. The anger is coming back. Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water. And those, God, such a sellout, Guillermo. That movie sucked. I hated that movie. But he's cool in it though. He's got a couple of great scenes.
How's he a sellout for that?
The lady's a great actress too. She was wasted.
What do you mean, dude? You telling me you don't
She had
want to
fish
see a
love.
proper Creature of the Black Lagoon from Guillermo del Toro? That would have been awesome, dude. But no, we got some
But that
political, poetic
Fish
crap.
love.
that's what he wanted though. He
That's
always saw
fine.
Fish
the
love.
Gilman as the hero, so he wanted to make that movie for years.
Yeah, I know.
It's fish love between two fish.
I disagree.
Yeah. Love is love, you know.
No, no.
Love is love.
He
Even underwater.
he could have done something original with that and done his own thing. That's fine. But I mean, you know how long I've been waiting my entire life to see a modern rendition of the Gilman, and I get that shit. I was throwing heavy objects at TVs. Okay.
Oh my
What's the
goodness.
holdup with that? I mean, we've seen The Mummy, we've
I
seen
know.
multiple Frankensteins, Wolfman. What's the holdup on the Creature from the Black Lagoon?
But I don't know.
I don't know. And he's the one that sells the most merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, did we get him in Monster Squad? Was he one of the monsters?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was.
Yes.
Because that's a horribly underrated movie. I
Yeah,
actually
Gilman.
prefer that movie over Goonies any day. Yeah, no, I see. But that's it.
Because it has Duncan Regier.
I just wanted a Gilman, and I didn't get one. That's what I'm angsty about. That's it. Yeah.
Monster Squad was cool.
Monster Squad was super cool. Yeah. Anyway,
But he's doing
I learned the word
Frankenstein,
virgin
and that's either
from.
going to be like the best movie or not.
Dude, Frankenstein. Oh man, I hate to hope these days because hope is fleeting.
Mhm.
However, that trailer looks so good, dude. God, it looks so good. And I don't like that Oscar Isaacs guy. He's a
beautiful.
freaking Fruit Loop. But damn, does he sound good in that and look good in that?
Oscar's not that bad. I think you get confused with him and Pedro quite often.
Well, no,
Yeah, I liked what he
which
did
is
with
easy to
Renee.
do.
It's easy to do. No, what put me off of Oscar Isaacs, I haven't seen anything I was like, wow, that was great. But although this trailer, he looks like he's killing it, dude. And of course Pedro, I've seen him in a few things that are fine. I don't hate his acting. But with Pedro is just hates the
Pedro.
fans, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But Oscar, the thing that put me off of Oscar is I saw him in an interview, and he was with Carrie Fisher before her passing, and it's the most freaking flamer thing I've ever seen in my life, dude. It was so flamboyant, over the top. It was like, hold my coffee, I am the gayest person on this planet. It was just too much, dude. It was too much. So,
but not in a cool John Waters kind of way.
No, I mean, yeah, exactly, because John Waters is cool. It was the worst. It was like
gay uncle.
You know what it was? It was like Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi?
You know the movie where they got all the cool actor guys to dress up in drag, and It's John Leguizamo. He plays a character named
To
Chi-Chi.
Oh yeah.
To something
yeah,
with love.
it's to something. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
It's that annoying ass character. He was playing that. Like you mentioned, John Waters. He's kind of weird, cool, right? It's different. Or even Paul Feig, who pissed off a lot of people here not too long ago. But even that style, right? It's fine. It's just the worst, most annoying type of flamboyant.
Anyway,
I
let's go
liked
with
him in
that.
Moon Knight. I thought he was good.
Oh, Chester hates Moon Knight. I loved it though.
Well, first of all, I love Moon Knight. Shut up.
I do too.
Okay. And if it was actually a Moon Knight show, I might have liked it. That's another reason I don't like Oscar Isaacs. However, this trailer for Frankenstein, dude.
I think the creature is going to look amazing. That's going to be the payoff.
Oh, it's just the set designs that I've seen in the trailer. Oh my god,
Yeah.
someone let Guillermo loose, dude. It's freaking awesome.
Did you see the still? There's like the still picture of his lab.
Yeah.
Who's playing the creature?
Just like piled to the ceiling with like body and parts. It's great. Some really tall, goony looking guy, so that it works.
Yeah, I don't know who. But anyway, my point
like,
is, Oscar is kind of. Well, I mean, he didn't piss me off. He just he annoyed me. But the Moon Knight thing, I was kind of pissed off about, man. But it just looks so good.
Because you love it.
Yeah,
it's not going to live up to the thing you like.
That's true. But of course, they did their best to kind of switch it up, and they basically gender swapped Scarab and made it all about her in the end, anyway. But I don't know. It is to be fair, it is a hard character to do correctly. I mean, Moon Knight is.
I was about to say it's kind of like a.
Well, because he's batshit crazy.
Don't you say?
Man.
Don't. I was about to say, don't you say he's Batman?
No, he's not Batman. He's not even close to being Batman. He's very different. Not even close. Batman's well, yeah, but no, Batman's got his shit together. That's the whole power of Batman. He is prepared. He's a Boy Scout.
Batman has like bat-shaped boomerangs. Moon Knight has moon-shaped boomerangs.
Oh my god. I understand that similarity.
They're called moonarangs.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, no, I get what they were doing initially, of course, but over time, Moon Knight has become very distinct, right?
Yeah.
Aside from Batman, of course, but yeah, no, it is a hard character to do. I'll give it that. And I found him annoying in the Star Wars stuff. I don't know.
Well, those Star Wars movies are annoying.
We're wasted.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't even used in those. He had like 3 lines.
Well, because they didn't know what they were doing, dude. They had no damn plan for those movies at all. None.
No.
Which is ridiculous.
I did like his cool Doc Savage safari outfit in the third one.
Okay.
And then they didn't even make a toy of it.
Does he have the famous line, somehow Palpatine returned? Is that his line?
Yep.
Oh,
I think it is.
Well,
somehow Palpatine returned.
I think the problem with that, as we see with so many Hollywood movies these days, is the fact that they tell you a character is something instead of showing you. Right? And his character is exactly the same. Oh, he's the best pilot ever. It's like, well, okay, well, show me that.
But he never gets to pilot.
Hardly.
See him crash.
Yeah, he crashes a lot.
He's the best pilot in the Alliance, and then he crashes instantly.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is John Boyega's character in the first movie has the best arc, and then they just dump him for some reason. I have no clue what happened with that dude. They just dumped him.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing because he's just a jackass.
He is a jackass, but his character
he
was
doesn't
the best,
even
though.
realize the fans really liked him and wanted him to be the Jedi.
Yeah, we did, because it made the most sense.
Nobody likes me because I'm black.
Mm-hmm.
What a neat concept to take
Oh,
a
when you saw the movie,
fallen
you're like, oh
stormtrooper and
man,
turn him into something more. Like
I
that's a great
know.
story arc.
It's
It's a
cool, right?
character development.
It's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Instead of the Mary Sue of, well, I guess she's the hero, so she's awesome at everything now.
Yeah, that Mary Sue
I could fly the
concept.
Millennium
oh, in the
Falcon,
third one,
even though
she
I've
was
never
the
seen
Mary
it.
Sue.
Yeah, they just
Yeah, for
they don't know how
sure.
to write. But what do you think happened with that though, guys?
No.
Because in the first movie, it's clear we're going to see him take an arc, is what it looked like. What happened? Because if they
Ryan
continued that
Johnson.
character, that would have helped a lot, dude.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson happened.
He burned the boats. Ryan
Yeah, but
Johnson
he's a
burned the
black
boats.
guy. Isn't that like on the list or something?
But he just had a totally different idea, and instead of taking what was presented in the first one and building on it, which is what all the other Star Wars movies did, right? Built on what came before it.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna tell a different story. And he just started telling a completely different story.
Yeah. He told a story about how sequels are horrible, burn the past. You know, why are you watching this movie? That's basically the movie he was making.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And space gambling.
And he also did
wrong.
a love letter to the prequels.
Hmm?
Because now everybody will like them more.
Well, those
They
movies
made-
were pretty bad. I
and they
mean,
made Luke Skywalker drink from a space walrus's tit. I mean, good.
oh,
God.
the hate from Luke Skywalker was pretty unacceptable. That is true. But yeah, no, I mean, even the first one, I watched it and I was like, because the hype was real, right? For The Force Awakens. The hype
Yeah,
was real, dude.
But
Everyone
you know,
was
the
excited.
problem is, it's that whole thing of like missed opportunity and everybody
Yeah.
died.
Yeah. No,
It's like, oh, you
complete.
could have had all three of the original people in the first movie, pass the baton, have the new kids in the last two.
Well,
Nope.
I don't understand why they didn't drop the Thrawn trilogy, dude.
right.
I mean, that's what any
Yeah.
fan you talk to is going to tell you what
Now
you should
they
do.
are.
Yeah, they're trying to now.
Well, because it does
They are.
it doesn't hand the baton to the next generation, and you've got a bunch of aging actors that are either going to demand more money, are going to retire, not do
Mhm.
it. You know,
Yeah.
and
Or
the
die.
Thrawn trilogy absolutely depends on
Luke.
until they had Rebels and they put it into that whole thing. It depended on Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia.
Right.
You don't have them, so Carrie Fisher goes off the wagon and you forget that, or Harrison Ford's like, I need $28 million. It's not happening.
Yeah,
So
no,
they
I get
just
that
realized.
point. I get that point. And,
You want me in this
George
one?
kind of screwed
Apparently,
us with that.
Harrison needs some money now. He's doing commercials. I have never seen that before.
Uh-oh.
He's doing Jeep commercials.
Yeah.
He needs a
Whiskey
new plane.
commercials.
New plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
Dumb's the
shouldn't have
name.
waited.
Yeah,
They
go
shouldn't
ahead.
have waited so long. That was the problem.
Yeah,
They waited until too long. So these actors are like, I'm out. I'm doing other stuff.
They aged out of
George
it,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, because
You-
George was all pissy because people didn't love his prequels. But in all honesty, what they should have done is just something different. I mean,
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
And it's yours because they were, they were worried about, George gets money when you use his characters, right? You're
Mhm.
right. That was a point of contention for Disney. So okay, make something 100% new.
Right.
And you've seen that before Lucas sold to Disney. You had that whole legacy, and there was and people like Timothy Zahn were creating all new characters like Thrawn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was a precedent. The Star Wars fandom was okay with new characters. That wasn't that wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
So why? Yeah, it
And
doesn't make financial sense to not do it.
And we did see some fun things going on, right? Like, for instance, I can't remember his name. He's a bit of a pain in the ass guy, but the Clone series, the Clone Wars, was it? The cartoon, right? The animated thing.
Yeah.
That was good fun, man. There was some really good storytelling going on. My kids watched that. And of course, this stuff they did with like Andor, and Rogue One. Rogue One Andor stuff is actually pretty good, but no one watched it because they're just done with Disney, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they could
That's
have done
right,
really
man.
cool stuff. That's a great little kernel. How did they get the plans for the Death Star? That's a great idea, right?
Uh-huh.
And Rogue One is
Are they going to make
probably
a
the
show
best
about the
one they made.
Bothans?
But are they?
They
Okay.
need to make a show about the Bothans.
Many
That's the
Bothans
one I want.
died.
Many Bothans died.
Many
Yes.
Bothans died.
Well, and I think what a
What's a
lot of
Bothan?
people said was, okay, so you had the prequel, you had the original, you had the prequels. So you
Right.
had, it was all Darth Vader's story. It's his hero's
Sure.
journey, it's his
That's right.
redemption arc, right?
That's right.
It's done. Why not, if you want to tell other stories, why not go to like the Old Republic?
Sure.
Tell those stories that could include none of those characters, but it's the Star Wars franchise. It's what they've done in a way with, which successfully, I think, with Star Trek. Paramount said, it's the Star Trek universe. We're going to have ships that don't say Enterprise. We're going to have captains that have no relation to Kirk and Spock
Put a
and
phaser in it.
Picard and stuff. And it works. And it works great.
Sure.
But you
Put a
can
phaser in
also
it.
have the other things that do tie back in if you want. Do a
Right.
one shot or do the series, like the Obi-Wan series and stuff, works great. But
Yeah.
in terms of the movies, just go with a whole new direction, and the Star Wars fans would have been there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a way for
No.
them to get in
Absolutely,
on the
dude.
ground floor for the
Yep.
kids who were too
Yep.
old or were born too late to do it in 77.
Yeah. No, and keep in mind the hype for The Force Awakens was real, like I said. Everyone was excited about it. That's one of the biggest hype movies of my lifetime, right?
Oh, for
And
sure.
they could have done anything and it would have been the same. No one knew what that movie was going to be. We had no clue,
Nope.
right?
And they just made Star Wars. They remade Star Wars.
Yeah, and again,
Right.
right? And the same thing with Star Trek. It was really weird choice by Abrams, because Star Trek never repeated itself.
Right. Those J.J. Abrams movies are terrible.
They're hard, and of course, then the Kurtzman, which is
The
his boy,
Changeling is the motion
um,
picture.
is just nonsense following after. But but the thing is, Discovery at least was something new, but it was just
Yeah.
in that era of ultra woke, and that's what ruined it really.
Yes.
But at least it was a new idea. At least
Yeah,
it had that.
absolutely. Even Deep Space Nine was a unique
Oh,
idea.
Deep Space Nine is awesome, dude. Yeah, yeah.
It's
But
awesome.
I think the Abrams movies were better than anything we would have got from Tarantino, though.
oh yeah, no, that's just weird.
Because he wanted to do the next one. Like,
You
oh,
never
God.
know, though. He might have surprised you. He might have.
I don't know. I can't imagine that much cursing in the Star Wars or
He
Star
might
Trek.
not have done it though, because he is a very capable filmmaker. He really is. He's a student of film. He's a weird, creepy dude. I get it.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But he is a student of film. He really is. We might have. It could have been interesting to see that, because I think he would have surprised us. To be honest with you, I think he would have took it seriously and showed love to it.
I think so too.
Yeah. Unlike what we got, because J.J. Abrams didn't want to do Star Trek, he wanted Star Wars.
Yep.
He didn't give a shit about it,
And then he got Star Wars and
Then he got
made
it.
and he screwed
terrible.
it up.
Then he did one and said, "Here, Ryan, finish up for me." And Ryan said,
His
"Okay."
Star Trek, I would argue that his Star Trek was simply a portfolio piece to try to get the Star Wars job, which is what he
Maybe.
really
Well,
wanted.
it's very possible. Yeah.
Maybe,
Mhm.
yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
But it's a shame. It's a crying shame, because
Ryan made Star Wars.
well, the thing that sucked about it is they got Bad Robot got the rights for it, and they've clung on to that like a frickin' dying dung beetle. And him throwing his boy Kurtzman over there, my God, that guy. Because Kurtzman doesn't care what you think at all. He's going to promote the woke until he dies. And that's that,
Yeah, he's
right?
just a bad writer.
Well, his team is horrible. You're right. Well, that's the problem we get with the woke. I mean, honestly, if they told their progressive
Mhm.
stories with good writing, you wouldn't have as much noise. I mean, let's be fair. We've all seen political movies. We've all seen movies that are
Yeah.
different genders, different sexualities. I mean, one of my
Gender
favorite
stuff.
movies of all time is Hedwig and the Angry Inch. and that's literally about an East German gay guy who dresses as a woman, and it's a musical. It's the weirdest thing you would ever imagine, but it freaking kicks ass.
Kind of sounds like East Germany to me.
The thing we say in sports is that winning cures everything. So if you have a movie that's good, woke, unwoke, right, left, whatever, if it's good and it does well, everybody forgets the message. When it sucks, and then everybody comes out and is like, "Man, it's the message, it's this, it's that." So you make a good movie, it doesn't matter. People overlook.
Well, it's like
that's true. Yeah, the grumblers get grumbling.
The Green
right?
Lantern conundrum. It's like the Green Lantern thing. Everyone focused on how bad the effects were. It's like, well, that just means the movie sucked because you noticed them.
Right.
That's right.
Well, that's fair. But I would argue, you're talking about the Ryan Reynolds one, right?
There isn't another.
Yeah, that's the only Green Lantern.
Well, the animated ones are awesome. But
yeah.
no, I would argue that 75%, the first 75% of that movie was actually good. They absolutely bombed it in the last act. That's what killed that movie. Before that, it was fun.
The stuff with Parallax where it's a cloud.
Oh my god, dude! It was the yeah, unbelievable.
How could he be chosen because of his willpower when he couldn't even drive a car?
That's fair. But
the test pilot who couldn't drive a car.
Why can he not drive a car?
Like crashing his car everywhere. Distracted driving.
Yeah, you're just bad.
Like, kind of ruined the whole.
Well, no, his whole thing.
Of course, that could have been left over from the Jack Black script too.
Well, his thing where he comes into Oa, and then he meets all the Kilowog and all the guys, and of course he's being trained by Sinestro. The whole movie should have been that plus Sinestro going bad. That should have been it. Keep it simple, and it would have been great.
Yeah, Training Day.
Exactly.
Yes, dude.
Should have
yes,
been like Training Day.
It should have been. Yeah. I don't know what the hell we need a Parallax in
Val
there
could have played Sinestro. Perfect.
People forget the Green Lantern as a cop
he is a
motif.
Cop.
Yeah. And that's where they went.
Well, you needed the Parallax thing because comic book movies always need a large cloud villain at the end.
I know. They're so weird, man.
Your big bad isn't just a cloud. It failed.
Yeah, for some reason they think that every comic book movie needs to have some epic universe-tearing ending, and it's like, no, just keep it simple.
You can tell a small story well.
You should
keep a day in the life.
Yeah,
it's because the people making the movies don't truly believe in the character. So you take a Hal Jordan, you make it a character-driven movie about how he puts his trust into a guy Sinestro. He gets turned on. He gets betrayed. Now he has to find his own heroism to defeat the guy that he used to look up to who betrayed him. So that you have the emotion. It's a very personal story that relies on character, but they want spectacle. That's not spectacular. No, it could be. You do it right with those ring battles would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
But they don't believe in it.
No, and it's unfortunate because before we got to Parallax stuff, it was fun and it looked good. I mean, for the time.
For the time. Yeah. I didn't even have a problem with the suit because I get what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense to have a guy
a living suit.
Yeah, that has energy powers, basically space energy powers, to be like, let me let me zip up my costume and like, no, it's having it work that way was great, and maybe it was a little ahead of its time in terms of what the CGI could really do well, but it wasn't bad. We've seen a lot worse.
I didn't mind that movie at all. I literally had no problem with it whatsoever. And
it was probably a.
Go ahead.
I think it was probably an effects people overworked deal.
Maybe. But like,
they could do it back then because Gollum worked. Same kind of thing.
That's true.
Right.
But I also love what they did with Abin Sur. He looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked cool.
Sinestro looked cool.
He did.
Kilowog looked cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ryan Reynolds was really the guy though.
No, he wasn't. You're right.
No,
it's the wrong wrong feel. Hal's more serious.
Even Hal's comedy, his jokiness is more. Again, think he's he's ex-military, right? He's a fighter pilot kind of guy. It's going to be more.
Well, you know who it could have been? The guy the
that
fans
kind of
wanted,
thing.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, he
Bingo?
would have been. He would have been
Yeah.
good at the time.
That would
Spent
have been
Guy
a better
Gardner.
choice at the time, yeah. Well, I mean, and of course, the reason why Ryan isn't a great choice because he's jokey, and he does it well. But Hal is, I wouldn't call him tragic, but he come from with his childhood, his backstory. How he saw his father die in a plane crash. His dad was a pilot, but he wouldn't allow himself to bow down to fear. Of course, and he went on became a military test pilot himself. Right, so he's a much more driven, serious character than Ryan Reynolds is capable of doing.
Yeah.
And a good
Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is perfect, but
It
Deadpool
is.
is not Green Lantern.
No.
Clearly,
Nah.
far different
It's-
character, far different actors.
Deadpool's wrong.
You don't like his Deadpool? I think he does a good job with Deadpool.
He
Oh,
kind of bent Deadpool into what he wanted.
Oh, that's fair enough. I just didn't mind it. I thought it was fun.
And what he wanted was James Hook.
Well, because I remember when Deadpool came out, right? Way back.
Yeah.
Had that damn guy who can't draw, but yet he draws shit. What's his name?
Rob Liefeld.
Rob
No, that
Liefeld.
asshole. Yeah, that guy. And Deadpool
The
sucked.
Golden Man of Comics.
No, Deadpool
What?
sucked when
No.
he first came out, dude. Deadpool sucked
He was
balls.
cool.
It wasn't until later that Deadpool became cool. Who was the one writing it that made Deadpool Deadpool? Who was that guy?
Fabian Nicieza.
Yeah, it was a
No,
weird
Fabian's
name like
the guy
that.
who actually co-created him.
I'm
in
not
his first
sure,
appearance.
but
He did.
it was a
he
weird
did.
name like that. Yeah, but
Yeah. So
yeah.
Fabian was brought in to be a scripter, which does not give you co-creation credits.
Because
Oh,
he
I see.
didn't draw Spider-Man without webbing on him?
No, so in comics, typically, if you have someone who's considered the writer. The writer is the person who's going to develop the plot, but then you can have somebody come in that just does dialogue, that just takes after the images are drawn. Now this is Marvel method, right? So the images are drawn based off just the plot, and then somebody comes in and puts in words in people's mouths, and that was what Fabian did. So the character was designed. The character was the look, the concept, and then the direction of how he's going to act. That was all Rob, and then Fabian was simply there to dialogue the book. So technically, you can give him a credit in terms of he was the first one to write the words, but he didn't have any hand in actually creating the character to say, well, I think he should be like this, or he should say these kinds of things. And the reason I bring it up and I say that is I personally have had this conversation with Rob Liefeld in person. And so I got the whole behind the scenes story.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not that
That's the first
Fabian,
time I've ever heard.
Rob Liefeld is like the new Stan Lee.
Is like what?
He's like the new Stan Lee. He's like the spokeschild and cheerleader for comics.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. His passion for comics is undeniable. Whatever you feel about his art, the man loves the art form. I'll say that.
Well, he's the guy that leaned into the fourth wall breaking thing with Deadpool, which
no,
I don't.
It wasn't him.
It wasn't him. Who was that then? Who was the
It
guy
might
who
have been
did
Joe
that?
Kelly.
Joe Kelly.
It might have been Joe Kelly
Right,
in the
thank you.
miniseries after, yeah.
Yeah, because that's when he really became something distinct.
But was
because
he was just a villain.
Yeah, you're right. But I think he and I think they took that from the She-Hulk stuff, didn't they?
Yes, John Byrne's She-Hulk broke the fourth wall way before Deadpool or anybody else did. Absolutely.
And boy, what a missed opportunity, man. That She-Hulk show could have been cool as shit, dude.
Could have been great. Like that, or a courtroom drama, or
They
both?
turned her into a wine prostitute.
Oh
Well, they
no.
were too busy wanting to troll the trolls. That was their whole goal in that
I
series,
guess. What a
and
shame,
it
dude.
ruined it.
Because
Yeah.
She's a great
that burn
character.
run was really good,
Mhm.
man.
It could have been, and this is a throwback for the older folks here. It could have been a superhero Ally McBeal, which at the
Yeah.
time was a super popular show, and they just dropped the ball completely.
Oh, they did,
You
dude.
had the
So
formula was already there.
that is, I think, one of the worst errors they've made. Is She-Hulk could have been a big hit. They could have got what they wanted, a heroic female that was fun, and because I loved She-Hulk, dude.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you could
No,
still
you
have
don't.
an
You're a man.
interesting
You must
show
hate She-Hulk.
Oh, that's right.
that
Let me write it
wouldn't
down. I keep
require
forgetting.
that wouldn't require so much special effects all the time. I mean, if you're doing like a courtroom drama or like mystery solving, then you could actually have parts of that just as Jennifer and save some money on makeup and CG and special effects.
Nah, not really. She's pretty much
They
always in
don't.
She-Hulk form.
And sensational, yeah, but I mean, you could if you needed to.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I think makes She-Hulk so cool as a comic character was always she wasn't tragic. She wasn't fighting being the Hulk. She was the opposite of Bruce Banner. She was like, this rules. Like being She-Hulk is badass. And so
She's
she was
totally
She-Hulk all
fine.
the time.
Yeah. And she didn't lose touch with her mind at
Right.
that. So it was pretty good trade-off, really. Keep your sense and still have super strength.
Yeah.
And you're green, but that's okay. It's not
Yeah.
that hard being green.
And then again, if you have a good story,
Mhm.
I'm gonna overlook the bad CGI.
True.
Now, Amy, I've always heard it's not easy being green.
Well, that could be.
Yeah. Now, one of the worst big misses they had, missed opportunities, was Miss Marvel. I don't mean the new one. I mean the original one. Because what they gave us was, what the hell was that? Because the original Miss Marvel story, of course, is a love story, right? With Marvel of the was he the Shire? No, the Kree. The Kree. Yeah, the Kree. But that was a great little love story, tragic love story. That would have been great. That's very Greek.
Yeah. Yeah. And to take it bothers me so much that they take that amazing Dave Cockrum design and just throw it out the window, and they're like, "Meh." Like, terrible.
Yeah, that was mean spirited, dude. That movie. It was, and of course another thing.
Just a bad Captain America remake.
Yeah, it totally missed the
It was
point
all
on
formula.
Yeah, and they could have
was all
gave us
formula.
building her up, because I mean she did work for Sword, right? Shield and Sword. They could have built her up. We could have seen her pop up in earlier movies in the background, right? Maybe give her a line here or there, you know.
I think in one of the Ms. Marvel comics, she was like working security at like one of this like air or space.
Yeah, she was with
stations or
Sword.
something.
She was with Sword, which
Yeah.
is the space version of Shield. Yeah, I think she started with Shield. But yeah, no, she's got a great story, man. It would have been a lot of fun. And even Miss Marvel, the new one, they've ruined that. They've ruined that character, because when she first came out, that initial 10 books or 15 books of Miss Marvel was actually really good fun.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of like Faith
Yeah,
from
they ruined.
Yeah.
They ruined the other Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, the one everyone loved.
Yes.
The best one.
That should have been Captain Marvel.
The leader of the Avengers.
They could have done that. But they did that just to say, screw you, fans.
They could have ticked the boxes too.
Right. I was just gonna say, how woke does it fit to go, we're gonna have the first Captain Marvel you see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to be a black woman?
Why?
I mean,
why not?
Perfect. It lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do it?
And of course, her family ties and all the things she has in her background, they could have used that and fleshed out more characters, even, right?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
And Spider-Man had a huge crush on her because she was hot.
That is true. But then
Her
again,
her first
Peter
appearance
has
is in
crush on
Spider-Man.
everybody, dude. Let's be fair.
Peter's a whore.
He
Or
is.
at least Monica Rambeau's first appearance is in a Spider-Man. I don't know if it's an annual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you could still go back and do the origin story if you wanted with the original Captain Marvel when they do like a flashback to the Fantastic Four, like in the 60s. Then you're like, wait, who's this? This is wait a minute, because she might mention she got her powers after a certain event. And you're like, okay, we're traveling
Well,
backwards, but
yeah, she's not related at all to
totally different
the
power
original
set.
stuff. She has no
Oh, okay.
connection at all. Yeah.
Huh.
No.
But why wouldn't you do? Here's your Marvel. You're trying to set up for a long-term Marvel universe. Why don't you
Right.
set up Captain Marvel, the Kree Marvel
Yeah, right.
at some point? Not big
Yeah.
cameo bit
Well,
part here there, and do two. He shows up in 2 or 3 things, and then you do the death of Captain Marvel, which
yeah,
is
it would
like
have been cool, dude. I mean, because they gave us Ronin. They gave us the
yep,
Kree. They were there.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this unbelievable emotional story of the death of this hero, and that moves people. I mean, that's a lost
What if he
opportunity.
died for the Infinity Stone, the Soul Stone?
Yeah, see, that would have been
Sure,
cool.
the radiation and
Mhm.
yeah.
And I do want to kick someone square in the
They
balls for
probably
what they
couldn't
did to
use
Adam
him.
Warlock. Just so you know, all right?
Oh, they did Adam Warlock wrong.
They did him big time wrong, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but the thing it also killed me about Monica Rambeau is they made her an Air Force pilot or something, and it's like, dude, she's a freaking harbor patrol lady in New Orleans.
No, that's her mom. So Monica was the agent,
Mm-hmm.
like the FBI agent that from WandaVision that got pulled into the little town. That's how she got her powers. Her mom was Carol Danvers' Air Force pal.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I'm just talking about Monica herself.
Right. But that
Yeah.
goes to show how confusing it is that people didn't catch that. But yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't catch that either. I didn't really know much about her mom at all. But
Yeah.
I don't remember her mom's name. I think her father's name was like Frank, or
I don't know.
I think it was
Yeah.
Frank. But no, from me, Monica Rambeau was like some officer in the harbor patrol, and
Yes.
they were uh, uh, she was like on a cargo ship or something like that, and there was like they were trying to stop a dangerous weapon or something, and she got exposed to like extra dimensional energies, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. And she puts on a Mardi Gras costume to disguise herself, and that's the silver and black costume
Yeah.
she wears.
That's
And
right. So
yeah,
flamboyant.
and if I recall, she was given the media was calling her Captain Marvel, and Ben Grimm told her about Marvel,
Marvel.
the Kree. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure it was
Mhm.
Ben Grimm
Mm.
that sat her
You're
down
right.
and told her about it. Yeah.
Yep, I think you're right.
And it's
Yeah.
crazy that she kind of got forgotten because in the 80s, she was one of those female characters that Marvel was desperately trying to make the next Wonder Woman.
She was the
Because you had
head.
She-Hulk,
She led.
Red Sonja, and then she was
Yeah,
the
she was
third
the
one. Yeah, she was
chairperson
the
of the
head of the
Avengers.
Avengers.
Yeah, at one time. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a cool character,
Captain
dude.
America looked up to her.
And she fought a lot of people. I think she was in the Avengers. Was that one of the ones they threw over to the West Coast Avengers as well? Maybe no.
Yeah, she was always on the East Coast
Yeah, she was
Didn't
the
end up
Avenger,
there.
straight up Avenger. Yeah. But
yeah, but
yeah.
that was some pretty big storylines. I mean, it was that she was in. She was in that one. What is it called? When the Masters of Evil
Yeah.
attack and they end up beating up Jarvis, and it looks like they're going to win. And I mean, that was a huge storyline that involved her.
Yeah, she did a lot of stuff, dude. I think she was involved in the super adaptoid stuff too, wasn't she?
Possibly. She was involved in Secret Wars.
Was she involved with Combo Man?
Did anyone watch the Miss Marvel show?
I
No. Oh, the little girl one. No, I didn't see
Old.
that. Yeah.
Ms. Marvel.
Although she seemed to be happy to be there, though.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm just
She
confused
was the
about
best thing about
MCU.
that Marvel's movie.
Miss Marvel, though.
She was a god.
She doesn't make any sense in the MCU
No,
Right.
but
because
it,
she's a big fan of Captain Marvel, but I mean, like, Captain Marvel never even got the name Cap. Like, how did she get the name
Mhm.
Captain Marvel in the MCU? It doesn't make any sense. No one called her that. She just popped up and they're like, "Oh, she's Captain Marvel." Why? Because in the comics she's Captain Marvel, apparently.
Well, I
And
think
no
if
one
you
knew about her. She was in space for all
Yeah.
those years. So how could she be popular if no one ever even saw her?
Right, because they screwed up
Yeah,
her
no one saw
earlier
her do
story.
anything in action before she vanished.
Ugh,
Yeah.
it's annoying.
It's
Well,
because Wonder Woman made $1 billion and they had to it.
That's
the
good.
success of the Wonder Woman movie did change a lot of things. I would agree.
But that origin makes no
did.
sense. How can you be a fan of Captain Marvel when Captain Marvel wasn't even around?
Green. I mean,
no.
was
Yeah.
mm,
Well, they
has she been
Well, go ahead,
like
Amy.
a fan of Captain? Has she been like a fan of Captain Marvel for like 2 years? Because she's just like a kid, and they're like, hey, this snap happened, and this
Yeah, she's
superhero
a fan of her from the Avengers movies, but that's a problem too because no one saw her do anything. She was in
Exactly.
space
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Even in
or
the
in the
somebody-
mansion. She wasn't like in public.
even in the fight with Thanos, that was no one saw that.
No, that's true.
No.
But the problem is these idiots don't know what they're doing, and they saw in the
Oh, they
original Miss Marvel book that the reason she called herself that was because she just absolutely loved Carol Danvers. She was a fangirl,
right,
and they glommed onto that and didn't really think because they don't understand the word continuity.
right. But this hasn't happened in
It
your
happened
version
off
of
screen.
Captain Austin.
Which
Well, that's
and it's really a shame for that girl because, like I said, she seemed to be really, really enthused about doing the character, and they,
Yeah.
She was really
Mhm.
excited about it. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a shame. It's like they did the Blue Beetle with Reyes, right? Blue Beetle, which is great. I love that Blue Beetle. That's a good Blue Beetle. But they just I don't know what the hell they were doing with it. It just sucks. And it's like, how do you screw that up so much? I don't know.
I don't know. You take a show that was made for HBO Max and then put it in a theater.
Yeah, but I just think they were too, with that one, I think they were too occupied with, it has to be very Mexican.
Yeah.
Where,
It was for Black
yes,
Panther, so
he is an American of a Latino, but I mean, and of course it's part of his character, but that's not what the story is.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no need to make it weird. Let's just tell a good story.
do some pandering.
So I have a well, kind of a Robert Howard question. So now I'm doing Conan. I don't know what else. I haven't been able to look and see what else everybody else. I know there's a few Conan things
He had
here.
3 first names.
So who would you have play Conan today?
Wow.
Could
History
they
movies.
magically get the build for it?
Well, see, that's the thing is one of the things I would say in the past, you had to have somebody that already had the build. But what we've seen in more modern movies is you
Jerry
can take any
Lewis.
actor you want and they can get that build.
Yeah,
right? So you
that's
take
true.
like I'll give you Ben Affleck as Batman, right? Ben Affleck not known as a big guy, but for was it Batman v Superman, he got ripped. So it doesn't have to be a guy that already has that physique, but maybe has more of the look in terms of the face.
In the 900, they an
Yeah.
elderly actor played one of the generals, and we can give him CGI abs. It's not a problem.
Who would I pick now? Unfortunately, it's cliche, but the first thing that comes to my head is Henry.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Too short.
Everybody wants Henry
Too
for
old.
everything.
Was he the guy who was in The Witcher?
Too
or
short.
Somebody
Yeah.
else?
Yes. Yeah.
No, you're
okay.
right. He
Yeah.
is too short. I
Well,
don't
he
know. You would
wasn't
have
a
to
How
pull.
tall?
giant.
I don't
How
think
tall is
he's
your
big,
Conan?
Isn't he?
Oh, Conan's a giant. He's bigger than me.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
Yeah.
he's as tall as
He's a big
Schwarzenegger
guy.
was.
Well, I'm taller than
6'1",
Schwarzenegger, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
and he got to
6'1",
play him,
6'2".
you know.
yeah.
6'1", 6'2".
I'll check.
Hmm.
I think he's more
I'd
like
say he's like
6'7".
6'4" if you're going to put him in modern height. Like
Really?
Momoa was very good casting. Very bad movie.
I like the
Yeah.
look. Yeah,
I did like the
yeah.
look.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
He looked cool. Looked
He
savage.
did. It was just a empty, desolate movie.
The story was
Lionsgate
weak.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incest.
Yeah, it had none.
But his look was great. There's if you find it, you can find there. He actually wanted to do it so bad. He filmed his own like what do you call it? Like audition reel or something. There was no audition. He was just like, "Hey, I want to be Conan," and he films himself. And he's like behind these like potted plants and stuff, but he's like he's walking through the jungle kind of thing or something. But he's being Conan, and you can see it. It's really cool.
he's like Conan.
Conan was 6'6".
Oh my
Dang.
god!
Yeah, no, he's a giant. Yeah.
Wow,
Around
I
that,
didn't
yeah.
realize he was that big.
That's Mike Awesome's height.
But we can get, I think the tallest actor in Lord of the Rings played Gimli. So you can work with it
Yeah.
if you've got the right actor.
Well, it's
Work those angles.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
you
key
can
is
just have him stand closer to the camera.
so many Hollywood actors are tiny. Your Tom Cruises are
Mhm.
5'5" and stuff. So you take a 6 foot like
Oh yeah,
say,
if you're
6'3"
6'3",
guy,
you look like a giant.
Yeah.
exactly.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah. Actors have big heads.
Chris Hemsworth's a big guy, but he's not a giant. He's not Thor size, but he looks Thor size because everybody else around him. Scarlett Johansson is like 5 foot tall.
And he's proportionate. He doesn't have a big head or.
Right. Yeah.
Who's tall but slight? Chris Evans. We saw him filming one of the Captain Americas here, and it was so funny because we're like, yeah, he's kind of tall, but his waist is probably like a 16-inch waist. He was so like. Yeah, just like very.
I think they trained them just to when they train. I think they just work their upper body, like their shoulders and their chest.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need for most of it, I guess.
And they also will go on like a starvation
Anthony
diet for
Mackie,
like
we didn't know who he was.
a week or so before they shoot any kind of shirt off scene. By the way.
Yeah, Henry Cavill has on the Graham Norton show. He talks about it. Which if you don't know, Graham Norton show is it's a British talk show, and it's really really good. And he's on there and he's talking about on The Witcher doing shirtless scenes and stuff. And he says they stopped drinking water like 72 hours. You get you get a cup of water.
Yeah.
Like 72
hours
hours
like
before
that.
you
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
To the point he's like, the day you shoot, you get nothing until after you're done. And he's like, you can smell it. Like you can scent it like an animal. You want it so bad. And then, but that way your skin is as papery thin as possible. So you see all the muscle striations and veins and everything. And that's how they do it.
That's so sad.
It's dangerous.
And then
it is,
lather you with oil so the camera picks up every line.
Yeah.
Can't we just fix that in post? Just go,
But
okay.
they pump them full of steroids too. That's what killed Black Panther.
Oh my god.
Is it?
No.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I thought it was colon cancer.
Yeah.
He had a form of cancer that's pretty much brought on from taking growth hormones and steroids.
Oh dear Lord, no.
But he never even really got that big.
After that, you saw a big difference, and the actors got a lot smaller after that and didn't make a big deal about building up for the roles.
Except for Hugh Jackman.
I was like, yeah. Yeah, and he went down. He did the same thing. Like he was completely dehydrated to do
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what that last Wolverine did.
Batista dropped too.
Oh, but yeah, he's dropped so much weight. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's sad. He
I
was
would never
he,
want anyone.
Steroids, because he's like, I'm in my mid-50s. I'm gonna die if I keep doing that stuff.
That's true.
He's probably feeling the side effects of that.
early, like maybe late 90s to early 2000s. Dave Bautista as Conan. Oh my God.
Whoa.
Well, of course, if we want to go back in time, there is only one person that had the look for Conan purely, and that his name is Triple H.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
He would have been amazing. Of course, I have no clue if he can act at all. I mean, I've seen him do the wrestling stuff, but I don't know if that translates.
Nah,
Yeah.
not really. You can improv.
Oh, he was in Blade
wrestling.
3.
He was.
Yeah, that was horrible.
It was horrible.
That's funny.
Yeah, we
Well, I
all
mean-
talk about that.
He was in the film The
That'll
Chaperone
give me
too.
flashbacks.
Oh, was he? Well, I mean, there's a few people who translate into Hollywood well. Roddy Piper, of course, did one of the best sci-fi movies of all time. Of course, Dwayne Johnson and John Cena both have translated very well into Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a crazy pull for Conan, maybe because of this other stuff that he's done. But I like him as an actor. He has the intensity, and he's bulked up once before. What about Tom Hardy?
Too short.
He's
like
way
5'10".
too short. He's a little
What?
dude.
Well,
And
man.
he's old.
Who?
Yeah, but we
I thought
again
you were going to say Jerry Lewis.
we
Well,
can work on that.
okay,
At least it's
no,
not Taylor Kitsch.
we could use Tom Hardy, but he's going to have to dub Randy Orton.
That guy, I've seen that guy in person, Randy Orton in person. He is deceptively big.
He's
Yeah,
even bigger
and
now.
these days his legs are literally the size of freaking tree stumps, dude.
Exactly. His
What is-
thighs are like are like my waist.
It's
unbelievable.
insane. He's just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
freaking monster, dude. And I don't know if I like it, to be honest, because he's always been one of my favorite wrestlers because he, especially if you go back a decade, he's the quintessential wrestler, right? When you
Yeah,
think of a wrestler, that's the body, that's the movement, Randy Orton. He really is. Now, I'm not saying he's the best one ever because, of course, everybody knows that's Bret Hart. But you know what I mean.
What?
Yep.
No. Bret Hart's the best wrestler of all time. There's no arguing. What are you doing? Stop
Oh,
it.
Benoit's pretty good.
Wait, Bret Hart
we can't
believes
talk
he's
about
the
him
best
anymore.
wrestler of all time, and
Oh,
we
no,
tell
no,
you
no,
that.
no, no.
Not
I-
true.
Yeah, he's certain. He's the best, maybe
In his
from
mind.
Ottawa.
Canadian. Yeah.
From Ottawa.
I thought he was from Alberta.
Uh-oh. I think
I think he's
arguments
from
are about to
Alberta.
happen, Eric.
Wherever.
Well, yeah, you're all wrong. It's Hulk Hogan.
Would
It's
anyone be
definitely not Hulk Hogan.
Definitely
Well,
not.
if you're talking
Dude,
about drawing
the
money,
most
I mean,
influential, sure. Yeah, absolutely. But
Oh, yeah.
pure wrestler? No, dude.
Actual athlete.
Yeah.
convincing.
No.
In ring
Well,
performer.
that would be Dusty Rhodes.
No, God,
Dusty
no.
Rhodes is one of the best on the mic of all time. I'll
He
give you
is. Now, his son, Dustin, is an amazing wrestler in the ring, actually. Shockingly.
Dusty Rhodes was like an Adonis. That body, no one has ever looked like that.
Oh,
My
come on.
goodness.
No,
that. Bionic
It was like,
little bit.
like
Yeah,
a
that was
Greek
a quote
statue had
from
walked
him, by
into
the way.
ring.
We have left the ladies behind. They're
Yes,
like, what
he
are
looked
these
like a
kids
cheese
talking
puff
about?
with polka dots.
No, they're
Look at that.
silent because someone mentioned Dusty Rhodes, and they're like, "Oh, I'll have to
Oh,
die a
the
widow
man.
because he
The
died."
man.
The-
It's,
The
with
son of a plumber, baby.
That's
Hey,
right.
man.
But
Hard times, the mama. Hard times.
hard times. But he always had that. He always had that kind of talk in him. He like, I'm going to go down there and out to the ring, and I'm going to teach them each and every one of them a lesson. And he had
The
that kind
son
of
of a
thing, right?
plumber
That
from
that
Austin, Texas.
the tongue on the top teeth type of
Yep.
talk. Um,
Yep.
it's a shame that his son, because Cody is kind of one of the main guys right now, and
Lisp.
that's fine, a little bit. But his son Dustin, he had a lot of drug problems, and it's a shame
Oh,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
in the ring he is deceptively amazing. But because he was always screwing up, they gave him stupid characters like Gold Dust and what was that other
Right.
dumb character he was doing for a while? That creepy thing.
7?
Yeah, something like that. It
Yeah.
was like
The pedophile.
it's Jesus, man. Because I'm one of the best matches I've ever seen, legitimately, was him and his brother Cody, up against some Samoan tag team. It was really, really good. It was a great match.
So I will say this. I agree. He
Outer
was a guy who
was
was
every
willing to
promo was
do.
him spying on children.
Yeah, it was really dumb, dude. It was so dumb. Yeah, go ahead,
He
Jerry.
was willing to do whatever it took for the business.
He did.
Was a true professional. But I will take your
The
Bret Hart
cause.
and I will raise you a Kurt Angle any day of the week.
Well, I'd say Kurt is
Way
funnier
better
than
than Bret
Brett.
Hart.
Kurt is an unbelievable
Skill.
performer, both in the ring and out of the ring. But in terms of real wrestling skill,
Well, he's a gold
he had
medalist, dude. I mean, a real one.
right. He had legit, and that translated inside to what he could do.
Yeah,
He
no,
could
Kurt's
be a high
great.
flyer. He could
Yeah.
be a ground and pound guy. He could do it all.
Okay, well, if we're going off on, weird, silly little characters, can I have Big Daddy Pump, please?
Big
Oh,
Papa
Big
Pump.
Papa Pump before
No.
his foot went bad. Well, I would say that as opposed to Big Papa Pump, I would say
Steiner.
Scott Steiner
Yeah.
as Scott Steiner from Michigan, the
Yeah, yeah.
All-American.
Yeah.
Holy smokes,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
an athlete!
Holy cow, dude. Yeah.
What that guy
The
could
Steiner
do.
brothers were amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing. Isn't the other
And then-
brother like a politician or something now?
Yes.
Yeah.
He got into I think it like local
What?
politics. Yeah. Rick.
The dog
dude-
faced gremlin?
Yeah. But dude, when
He's
I
doing,
saw
like,
him come out with
local-
that chainmail on his head, just steroided the hell out. Big Papa Pump. That's one of the best pops, man. When he comes out,
Oh my god!
like, damn.
The siren goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really cool, man. But no, there's a lot of people. Honestly, one of my most entertaining wrestlers is Dolph Ziggler. He's really good
Very
at
good.
helping
Very
make
good.
you look really good. He's great at that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very good. So then you go, okay, so let's talk about freak athletes in WWE and a guy who can't act, but body wise, here's your Conan. It's Brock Lesnar.
Oh well, yeah, that's obvious. Yeah. No, once again, just dub him. Now Brock Lesnar
Play
is
like
a
a
freaking
like a
freak human.
on the front end with a-
Brock Lesnar is a throwback to a time when human beings had to kill things with their bare hands. Like
Yeah.
that's what he's built to do.
Yeah, and he's a
Well, he's a
legitimate
when mastodons were hunted with only your teeth.
right.
Yeah.
And I mean, all these guys are tough. They got to do that to be tough to go week to week with the way they throw their bodies around. But he's a legitimate champion, a fighting champion as well.
UFC champion,
Yeah,
heavyweight champion.
He's terrified the hell out of the whole planet.
Yeah, because he's a human gorilla.
He is.
He's a human Z.
He really is. And he went from being a NCAA champion wrestler to being a professional wrestler, which you go, okay, you can argue that it's not competitive sports because of the nature of it, but still it's athletic.
Oh, very
But then
athletic.
he quit that with his last football
To the
experience
NFL,
being
right?
high school football, and he nearly made it in the NFL. He made it to the final cuts with the Minnesota Vikings in the NFL with no experience, pure athleticism.
Did he ever take a snap?
Preseason. He made it to preseason. He
Because
didn't
I
make
thought
it.
I saw him in a football uniform before. Yeah, I thought
Yep.
so.
Yeah. Crazy. I mean, the guy was 300 pounds and could backflip off of the top rope of a wrestling ring and land under control where he wanted to.
He's
crazy.
insane. And of course, there's many good performances from him, whether it be UFC or WWE. But I think one of the best Brock Lesnar moments was, I can't remember which one, but it was a Royal Rumble. I mean, he just the way they set it up, it was pure domination. It really sold well.
He again, body. That's your Conan body, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
just
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, burly.
What
Like
about the
not
guy that
not gym
plays a
looking,
Reacher?
but bulky.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, and he can act a
yeah,
bit
yeah,
too. He can act a bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah.
He was
He's
Aquaman.
he's got to be 6'4", I think.
He's I think I saw him in an interview
6'2".
and
Si-
Reacher is a certain height and he's not, and he thought for sure he wasn't going to get the job because they said they wanted to do accurate, but he got it anyway. But
I
I
saw
think
that
he's around my height, which is plenty enough for cinema. Plenty enough.
He's 6'2". Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, in the movie, he's the tallest person in the town
Sure.
because everyone else
That-
is like 5'7".
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So in Hollywood, you have most of your actors are very short, under
Yeah,
6 feet tall. So
that's
you have
right.
a guy at 6'2", and you're like, oh my God, this guy's literally head and shoulders taller than everybody else.
Yeah.
You don't have to be 6'7".
Even back in the States, when I went back, when I was in the States, of course I see people my height or even taller than me, but most of the time I'm head and shoulders above everybody anyway.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
a guy like the Reacher guy, he certainly could do it. He's got the body for it. Actually, I think he's gone a little bit too far with his body, to be fair. But and he can act a bit. That's not a bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And let's be honest, you're not looking for Hamlet out of Conan.
No,
know?
no.
You are. You are. If you want to like the book, that is what you're looking for.
Yeah, Conan is actually really smart, dude.
What is best in life?
Oh, that
Crushing
is
enemies.
not from the book, but
Crush
it's a
your
great
enemies.
line.
I
Even
mean,
driven
he is.
before you, hear the lamentation of your women.
Yes, it's such a great
poetry.
line.
Right
That's such a great line.
It is good. Yeah. Now that movie's awesome, dude. It's pure awesome. It's just if you got to be a stickler, it's not Conan, but I loved it.
My daughter used to have this little Russian hamster. So it's a very small little hamster. But it had this wheel. So instead of your traditional hamster wheel that's vertical, it was horizontal. So she could climb up in it and run, and it would go and it would spin around. And we called it the Wheel of Doom.
Sure.
And the joke was that her name was S'mores, and so S'mores was on the Wheel of Doom,
Yes.
getting strong so
Getting
that she
strong.
could take over. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's
The
cute.
skip would take over
That's
because
cool.
she was a Russian. Yeah.
Now, and of course, a Russian Siberian dwarf hamster. But another thing about that movie, though, other than just all the the rule of cool in it, that soundtrack is arguably one of the best ever made.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll give you
I
that.
mean, it's up there with Star Wars.
That's what makes that movie.
It's so good, dude.
It is really good.
Yeah. Perfect tone. Who did that? Who?
It's a modern opera.
It's so good, man. It's perfect in every way for what it needed.
I believe the same man that did RoboCop, right?
That's a good
RoboCop and
soundtrack
Terminator.
too.
Could be, yeah.
Hmm.
And then
RoboCop's great.
And then you had who were the two guys? It's like Sven Thorson is one of the two muscle guys that work for Thulsa Doom, and then the other guy is it's a football player. Is it Ray Nitsky? No, who is that?
Oh yeah, the big guy, Rexor, the one with the beard.
With the mustache. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, of course, there are some like in the Reacher season 3, they had the Icelandic giant in it, right? And his acting
that guy was huge.
Now that's a really big guy though, in reality, and his acting was what you expect, but it worked.
Well, Ben.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it was fine.
Big.
There's some guys in that Conan movie like I had forgotten about. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. Max von Sydow? Like,
yeah.
Totally forgot about that.
I'll get my daughter back. Because that's at that time where he just showed up in every movie that came out.
I love Max von Sydow. He's great. He's Ming the Merciless.
He is. He's so many good things.
He is Ming the Merciless.
He is.
He even showed up in Star Wars.
The guy I've never even heard of.
That
His
name
name is
is psycho.
Basil Poledouris,
Illinois,
the guy who did Conan
the
soundtrack.
guy that did Terminator and RoboCop.
Yep, Under Siege,
Mhm.
Blue Lagoon. Wow, that's interesting. RoboCop,
You say
Conan, of
Under Siege, like
course.
that's the what's his name
Steven
movie?
Seagal, yeah.
Steven
And-
Seagal movie. Okay,
well,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
actually, if you think about it, it did have a good soundtrack.
yeah, yeah.
It just
That's one of his
also
few
had
good
Steven
movies.
Seagal in it.
Yeah,
You know, the Blue
That was his
Lagoon one
first
is
mainstream
weird.
movie. Yeah.
Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, I didn't. That's a
Shields, yeah.
weird one.
Right.
Now that girl, what was her name?
Phoebe Cates?
No.
No, Blue Lagoon
Oh.
was
Brooke
Brooke
Shields.
Brooke Shields.
Oh.
Now that girl had a weird life, man, because she first was known to the public for a scandal because she was, I don't know, 10 or 9 or 10, and she did like a nude photo shoot in Europe, and everybody was
Well,
like,
that's
"Oh my
very
God, how
interesting.
dare the Americans lost their damn mind, the Protestants."
Yeah.
And then she did a movie where she's playing a 12-year-old prostitute with full-on nude scenes. Once again,
Yeah.
everyone lose their damn mind because what the hell is a little girl? They had no sex scenes, but still. Then she did Blue Lagoon because now the only thing she's known for is sex scenes, or excuse me, nakedness. And in Blue Lagoon, they use a body double.
Mhm.
What the hell's all that about?
Her mom forced her to do those movies.
No, I
I'd say
bet
her
she
mom
did.
was there the whole
Yeah,
way and
yeah.
all of that stuff. She was
Yeah.
their manager, and yeah.
Now, to be fair, it sounds like she wasn't taken advantage of. So cool. But Brooke Shields, man, that's a weird story right there.
It is.
And then
It's right up there
someone
with Jodie
threw her at
Foster.
Michael Jackson. Luckily that he didn't swing that way.
Mm.
No,
She
she
was
went
too
on
old, had the
famously.
He
wrong
didn't drink the
genitalia.
Well, no, they put her on a date with Michael.
Yeah.
That was actually on the news. I remember.
It's a little news.
Oh, this thing.
And then
They
she did the jeans. There was a jeans
Mhm.
Yeah.
ad line.
Yeah.
she
Nothing
did. That
comes
was a big-
between me and my Jordache.
That's right,
That's
Jordache.
right, yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Jordache jeans.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal.
Yeah, it was weird though.
Everything
But
I know about her, I know from SCTV.
there you go. But actually, I think around that time there was a lot of rumor about Michael, and I think that's why they set that up, was to say, "Oh, look, he's with this sexy naked girl.
He likes
He's
ladies.
he's a real
Look,
man."
he's with Boy George.
Yes. Oh, go. Okay. Or Paul McCartney. Whoa. No, I didn't say that. Don't yell at me. All right. Anyway,
Remember Paul McCartney in his famous role, Miss Jane Hathaway.
I think it's time, guys. I think we're done. We're done.
That's good timing because I'm
Are we?
pretty much done.
There you
Man, I
go.
don't know if we
But
are.
I just
No,
find
we're definitely done. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take a look at everything, and I'm going to judge it harshly as I do. We know how harsh I am. Yeah.
Oh no.
And we'll see what's what here. Okay. So let's go over and take a look. I'm going to start at the beginning, and I have myself an Alpha Proto, and he has done himself a Red Sonja, spelled with a Y, not a J, who is a Robert E. Howard character. Hey, Alpha,
Yeah.
what's going on? This looks pretty good.
Yeah, Red Sonja.
Yeah, with
a
the Y.
Y.
Yeah. Well, they're
Because
both
why
they're
not?
pronounced the exact same. It's just the
Mhm.
the one everyone knows is simply the Scandinavian pronunciation, right?
Ja.
Yeah.
And she got
But
to hang out with Conan.
well, yeah. But anyway, I'm actually very impressed with this because when I was watching it come together and you hadn't done the hair yet and the face was isolated, it looked really bad.
What? This?
Dude.
Yes, it was really bad. I was like, "Oh,
Just
wow.
What? That's
Wow."
cute.
No, wow, that's horrible.
Man.
But then
Aw.
When I
you
first saw
you
your
got
baby, I was like, wow, look at the lizard. But now it's a child.
but then you got detail and I was like, "Oh, there it is." because that looked great.
Oh.
This looks really good.
Well, I just have to work out the idea, you know.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, see
It's,
that
it's
you know
like
this is how we
layers of
started.
ideas.
This is where we went to, and that's where we got.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Was
that's
he
why I
was
didn't
he
finish.
scritchy scratchy? Was that what it was?
no, it was stick figure, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
I
a
was
legitimate thing.
worried. I was worried, but I'm not because this is great. And this is a little bit cutie honey actually. But
Honey
it's
Flash.
no, it's really cool, dude. This is a good job. And if you
Thank you.
guys like what Alpha Proto has done, please vote for him the straw poll. It's cool. And hopefully I spelled things right this time because I just do it real quick and don't pay attention. We'll see.
There you go.
boy.
Yeah, we'll see. This is awesome. Let me move. Let me continue moving along here. Let me go over to Amy. Now, Amy has done the same characters, but I thought I saw her working on something else earlier. What happened?
Oh yeah. Boop, boop. There.
Yeah, no, there it is. Yeah, the Tower of the Elephant, a Conan piece, and of course, it's a cute little elephant sitting up top, which is really not.
Up in a corner.
It's not really what it means. You know, you
No,
took
but
that a
that
little
was
bit literally.
Yes,
It
it
was
does.
amazing. There you go. It's an elephant on a tower. You're like, how did he get up there? How was he gonna get down?
He looks like a
I-
pachyderm.
And how's
Yep.
how's he going to get down? That's a very good point. But of course, you know, Tower of the Elephant is dealing with like an kind of like an elder god.
Mm.
Yeah, an yeah. It's interesting how often, you know, sci-fi things come into Howard's writing, and all those guys
Sure.
did that. Even we were talking about Burroughs.
That's a big one because it's surprising.
It is.
Well,
It is. Yeah.
he and Lovecraft were friends, so
They,
it
of
kind of
course.
makes
Mhm.
sense. They kind of crossed.
Yeah, they used each other's ideas all the time.
Yeah.
Wasn't that cool?
And the
That is
Mountains of
true.
Madness has a direct link to a Conan story,
Really?
as in they take place in the same city.
Well, it makes sense. Conan does fight those kind of things, and of course, with the Tower of the Elephant, he's fighting Yag Kosha. I think that's what isn't that right? Yag Kosha? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's the elephant.
This was the elephant,
The elephant.
I think. Right?
Yeah, no, Yag Kosha is yeah, it's that's the creature Yag Kosha. I think I
Yeah,
I
he's
think
not
it's
evil. He's
No, the
being
elephant-
abused. It's
yeah,
it's a
no.
worth reading. It's great.
Right, and
Yeah.
then of course we have Yara, and yeah, it's been a while. I do the names are in my head. There was a Taurus and Conan, but that's like Conan the thief though. Period. Right?
Or he's young. He's like maybe a teenager, early 20s at that point. Because you're basically following through his life in those stories, just
You do.
at different stages.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if you like the elephant sitting upon the tower, then vote for Amy. Do that.
Yay.
Okay. Let's go over to Eric, and Eric has done just very classic Conan. This right here is taking off of Frazetta for sure.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not
And-
done, but I got as close as I could.
That looks good, dude. But yeah, I mean, I think
awesome.
Jerry made a good point earlier, where you know there's been a lot of great art attributed to Conan because it's such an exciting character. A lot of people want to draw it, but Frank Frazetta, I mean,
Yeah.
he, you know, it's just amazing. And who was the other guy? Julie
Because he never
Bell's
read the story.
husband,
draw a naked guy.
Boris Vallejo. Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
And we can't forget 70s vans.
71?
70s van.
Custom van from the 70s.
Oh no, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Death Dealer, the Death Dealer. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Do you know that you, for a price of $30,000, you can actually buy a life-size statue of the Death Dealer on his horse?
I just made a down payment. Don't remind me.
They have a smaller version, which is more affordable. But I
My
actually,
family has disowned me, and I found out I spent all of my life savings on a statue of a guy on a horse.
yeah, because I love Sideshow collectibles. I always pay attention to the new stuff they come out with it. I actually want to take a warehouse building I have here in the city in my retirement and turn it into a live house. And each of the booths that like I put in like lounge, U-shaped booths. Each one I want to have a different diorama in that space
Cool.
using Sideshow
Cool.
collectibles. Yeah, that's the dream anyway.
I bet there's not much like that in Japan.
I bet not. But that's a kind of business I could care less if it makes money. It's irrelevant.
Right.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. But anyway, if you like what Eric has done, please vote for him in the straw poll. Let me see here. Let's move on to Melissa. Hello, Melissa. Is this
Melissa.
Scooby Doo? Scooby Dooby Doo. Oh no, it's Tarzan.
A little bit. Let's see how I make this look good
There it is.
so I can. Oh, all right.
Jungle.
Well,
More jungle.
don't quite get done. Maybe if I turn off the background layer. Oh, it's all color.
Oh, the colors are all together? Or...
Yeah, the colors are all together.
What was wrong? The colors look good. Go back to the colors.
Oh, good. I was just incomplete. Here we go. This is the character from Pistol Politics. He's got incredibly lost. And he's trying to figure out his way around. There was the guy from the previous entity who's still trying to gnaw off his eye.
I know nothing of Pistol Politics. I've never read it.
Yeah.
It's Breckenridge Elkins, like the greatest stories ever.
I've never read those. Yeah.
You should totally read them.
Well, it seems like
they're all out of print.
Well, it looks like I've missed an entire side of Howard that I don't know.
Yeah. He did a lot of these. I think he might have.
No, that was in his life. That was his most popular character in the longest running. Was
it?
Breckenridge Elkins.
That's interesting.
What are they called? They're like the something stories.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, of this era, I mean, I've read all of Lovecraft, but I'm from Rhode Island. It's kind of required. Honestly, I love the Howard stuff, but I read Burroughs, like everything, right?
Yeah.
So I think I was more of a Burroughs kid. Yeah. Anyway, very nice, Melissa. If you guys like what she's done, please vote for in the straw poll. Does this have motion to it?
I'm afraid it doesn't. I spent so much time I need to spend time studying anatomy and stuff looking for draw the legs and force it faster.
No worries.
No problem. Looks great. Thank you very much. If you like what Honey has done, please vote for in the straw poll. All righty. Let me. I don't want that. Go away. Let me go over here and take a look to see what Jerry has done. What have you done here, Jerry? Now, I do believe this is a Conan, and which particular female is that behind him?
A very nondescript, generic Conan wench.
Well, a maiden that he will save and then bed later.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. Barbara.
Yes.
And who is he fighting here particularly?
A pair of monstrous, scaly hands that are connected to a horrible beast.
Catherine Hepburn.
Oh, fair.
Straight out of my head.
There, fair. That's fair. It is very Conan though, and of course the legs are definitely Randy Orton-esque here. So good on you.
You got to have a strong base.
That's true. No, I mean the Randy Orton has got out of control. I mean he can literally kick an elephant through a brick wall. I think.
Probably.
Yeah, it's insane. The thighs on that guy. It's insane, dude. Anyway, yeah. Of course, this is great. It looks wonderful. And if you guys like what Jerry's done, please vote for him in the straw poll, man. It's really good. Really good. Let me come over here and see if I can grab an Elrod, and I shall. Hello, Elrod. How are you doing?
There.
I'm
on the floor.
Why?
I can't get up.
Oh, I see.
I'm buried in papers.
Do you know where the beef is?
I do. But that's dirty.
No, that the clap on, clap off, and the where's the beef lady always look very familiar to me, similar to me.
Where's the beef?
Look what I found.
Oh, seriously?
Oh,
Oh,
It was mixed in with my other thingies.
oh, you still have those. That's awesome.
Wow.
That's a Lester art.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the first Conan I did. Was Tower of the Elephant.
yes.
The original was like a big 11 by 14 or something like that.
Wow, look at all the detailing
No idea
on
what it
that.
is.
That is
That
nice.
was
Yeah.
beautiful.
This was the funnest to draw because we did it live, and I drew him first and had it covered up through the stream
That's
so that it would
right,
be
so it wouldn't be spoiled.
so I wouldn't give away the book.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That makes sense.
So we got there, and then once we revealed the elephant in the tower, then you could take off the rest of the paper. That was so cool. Those are good times.
Yeah. And here's when we revisited the story. I did the elephant from a different angle.
That is cool.
Even more sad.
He did look like a pachyderm.
Yeah, his head at least.
What was that? But he was.
It was Tower of the Elephant too, or it might be the one where he fights that ape in the red cape.
Could be.
Okay.
It may be Tower of the Elephant in his undies because he strips off all his clothes at some point.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one where he
quietly.
kicks the hell out of the lion and who then obeys his every command? No,
Yeah.
No, that one's the giant's daughter, I think it's called.
I don't think that's how lions work.
No, he fights a lion in Tower of the Elephant. It's the first level of the tower. It's like there's lions in the courtyard.
Is that where it is? Okay, maybe he's fought multiple lions.
I think he's flipping like puts him to sleep or something, or poisons him, and then they get to another room and there's a giant spider.
Mm-hmm.
And then I drew Conan's ancestor, Cole the Conqueror, fighting the snake people.
Lizard people. I gotta dig them out.
Where's his crown?
It's on his head. Right there.
Oh, on the
It's on his head.
snake
This
people.
is his duplicate that he just killed. One that was posing as him. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But he has his bracelet that they always forget in the comics.
All right, fair enough.
And there's my favorite Breckenridge Elkins.
There he is.
It's him going down a cliff on a horse.
Fastest way to get there. Yeah. His horse is amazing too. I didn't have time to put
Romance lady.
Dude, I can't even imagine Howard doing comedy. That's just bizarre.
Oh, they're fantastic.
No, it's not right. That's
They're so good.
That's a
Because
Mandela effect, Eric.
That's why
I'm
he's the
pretty
greatest
sure.
writer of the century.
Mm-hmm.
And the weird thing about him is like it's good.
Yeah.
That's the weird part.
And half of them were never released because he thought they weren't good. Like the Call stories are all done after his death because he was just like, nah, whatever. I don't like it.
Well, they're not as good, to be fair.
And Almeric, the one that was like the John Carter kind of ripoff. He got to the end of the he was like, I'm gonna go do something else.
His typewriter must have been on fire half the time. How are you doing?
Yeah. I couldn't imagine. And this is what I did tonight. Well, sort of. I started to do an El Barak, but that didn't work out. The guy that's like the cowboy that goes east and goes to Afghanistan.
Oh wow!
As you do.
Well, El Barak.
He's no Quigley Down Under.
Viggo Mortensen. Hidalgo.
Tom.
That was very much like
that
story.
Was it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to read those books. I'm not going to do it.
You should totally read it.
No, that's not Howard. No, Howard is brutal, blood, savagery, bedding wenches.
Oh, they're
that's
all
Howard.
brutal.
Oh, they're all brutal. There's a lot of
The
fighting in
bloodiest
all of
story.
those books.
That's why it's pistol politics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
It's
a
a lot.
biter.
Mm-hmm.
He's a biter.
Because he doesn't fight, he does rough and tumble.
Oh,
It's just a little rough and tumble, sir.
just a little rough and tumble. I've been a gentleman here, and I did not.
Rough and tumble was a form of fighting in the 18th and 19th centuries that people did for fun, where there were basically no rules,
I see.
and you would bite off people's ears and noses.
Oh,
But
I
it
see.
usually was the result of some kind of misunderstanding.
And he
Huge
gets
liver.
regulated
Sounds very Irish to
and
me.
instantly goes to start biting the guy and gouging his eyes.
Yes.
And the spelling bee?
This is what I did tonight, was old man Conan on the throne. King.
And that lion is trying to get him.
King
That's his
of the
mantle.
forest. Yes, that's very nice. Cool.
Shawl.
His shawl. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, if you like what Elrod has done, please vote for him in the straw poll. I still believe it's a Mandela effect, though. I don't believe it. Alrighty.
I don't think there's a straw poll.
No, I haven't dropped it yet. I'm not like
okay.
Jeff. I actually give the viewer the
Oh, you know what?
opportunity to peruse the
My
art
original plan
before
was
making
to
a
do
decision.
Sailor
you see.
Steve.
Yes.
There you go. Gotcha.
Yeah, and therefore,
Have you read the Sailor Steve stories?
Sailor Steve? I have not. Were they amazing?
It was part of his boxing stories, but he's basically like Popeye. It's great. And they're funny too.
Cool. Dude,
I have heard of those, though. I have heard of those. Alrighty.
And
well,
that was when I was going to draw. That was what I planned all day. But then,
And here is the straw poll. So take a look what you saw and make a decision, folks. And whilst you do that, I'm going to go take a look and see if we hit any draw along stuff tonight, which I hope we did. So it's there sitting. And let me go over here and let me take a look. And let me bring this up and let's see how it goes. Well, hold on a second. Let me fix this because it always screws up. I can't do that. All right, cool. All right, let me do that. No, that's not what I wanted. Stupid. All right, sorry. All right, draw along. Let's see what we got here. We do have some. Nice. Jason Gonzalez is, everyone's got to do Conan, aren't they? Okay. This is from Thunderette, or Jason Gonzalez of
he did that
Conan.
oil painting. That's amazing.
I haven't got down to it yet, but this is really good Conan. I noticed that Jason is becoming a little bit more of a completionist instead of just sketching. We're getting more and more detail out of him, and of course his stuff is amazing. Yeah, thank you very much, Jason. Looks great, killing some random monster. Why do all the monsters have to have clawed hands, you and Jerry?
Because
they're monsters.
Because it makes it dangerous for the hero. He has to overcome something. If they were soft, fluffy bunnies, then it's not much of a heroic issue, is it?
I'm sorry, sir. Have you never seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
With big nasty teeth.
And the man's in his birthday suit. His crackers really hurt.
That's true. That is true. That's true. We shall use the holy hand grenade. Oh, it looks like Doug is giving us some Dio today. Uh-oh. Pablo has chimed in today. Pablo Romero. Damn. I don't know if I've ever seen him not draw a female.
Oh. Very Arnoldy.
Yeah. He's really good at
in a good way.
Oh, no, he's a great artist, dude, yeah. But that's Tulsa Doom, I guess. Very nice. Although the sword should have been the broken off version.
Does he have the rocking bang?
This is very Arnold-esque, what he's got going on here. It's great, though. It's really good.
Headband.
Yeah, he's got the headband for sure. Very cool. Didn't have time to do something better. Well, that's okay. Thank you, Pablo. We'd love to see your stuff, man. It's always awesome. Alrighty. Let me go over to the Twitters.
Still has booby.
In a way. They're called pecs, though. Okay. So let's see if I can find something interesting here. I don't know what that is. It doesn't look cute. Some protester is dead. Sweet. Okay, I don't think that's real. Is it? Oh, dude, it's happening.
It happened right before we started the show.
Holy crap, dude! And
Party
Trump's
time.
just going to sit back and let them do it, huh? I mean, it's their fault. They refused to make a deal, and they're like, nope, we're going to make our nuclear weapons. Screw off. We don't care what you're going to say. So Trump, I'm assuming he just like, all right, and just let the Israelis do what they've been, chomping at the bit to do. Ooh, dude, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad, dude. All right. Well, there's that.
Is she covered in blood?
I'm assuming it's a bit.
Oh, okay.
Longsword, cutting trees, and that's how that works.
Yeah. That's
Oh, good job, dude. One of the best ones I've ever seen like that. Lady was doing an interview on the field, and it had some ball player, and they were practicing, and the guy hit the ball, and it came flying right at him. He just put his hand up, caught it, and said, "Dude, keep it in the field." Barehanded that. That was a really cool moment. I mean, that's just pure badassery right there. Save the pretty lady. Good job, dude. You gotta give him a kiss. He deserves it. Okay. I'm not going any
That's like a
further.
Spider-Man cut. Too.
It is, dude.
Backhand.
Yeah. I want to see his cute little face as he tries not to look
Yep.
too smug. Yeah.
Okay,
there
so
you go.
he still has the ball.
Yeah, of course. But
when it cuts back,
yeah. No, that's super cute. That's super cute. Did he keep it? Let me check.
So when it comes back to him, it's in his left
It
hand.
is, dude. It is. Yeah. That's cool. Of course, he's going to keep the ball. No, don't care. No, that's it. That wins. I'm going to do my job.
Yep,
All right.
that's adorable.
Yep.
Good job, my dude.
Yeah, no, that's very cool.
I'm sure he got a pat on the shoulder for that.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. That was a very cool moment. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see now. Doug has done Sailor Steve, Costigan, the boxing sailor, which I have heard of this one. I have heard of this.
Yeah.
It is very Popeye adventure. Question. All right, fine. He's got a monkey.
That's awesome.
What's the monkey's name?
Monkey.
Yeah, but I know he has a bulldog as his constant pet.
Well, it looks like he gets in a lot of fights. But
I think that was like his least of his things because it was in a magazine that was canceled really quick, like a boxing magazine.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Probably a bunch of these.
Well, in the end, what do you do with a drunken sailor so
Because
early in the morning?
At the time was a trend.
Put him in the longboat till he's sober.
That's right. That's what you do. So we're gonna get a little bit of Dio here. Let's see what we get. Oh, great choice. Yeah, so good. One of the best rock voices of all time belonged to a munchkin that looked like a shaved gorilla, a shaved chimpanzee. Ronnie James Dio, one of the ugliest men in music, short as hell. I think he was probably 4'8". But what a frickin' voice, though, man.
That's awesome.
No, yeah, and he actually has always been pretty cool dude too. But I mean, damn. The funny thing is, before him, the kind of Satan thing was doing the okay and squishing the fingers out so it looked like 666. But he in his concerts used to do what we call the devil horns today, and everyone's like, 666, sign of the devil. You know how rockers want to be, edgy. But in truth, he picked it up from his grandma, and it has nothing to do with the devil. It's actually quite the opposite. It is a ward, a charm to ward off evil spirits from the old Italian
Aw,
ladies. Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Mamma
cool.
mia.
yeah.
Or maybe
So
his
he
grandma
is.
was the devil worshiper.
No. But he is responsible for that, and that's so it's his fault. But
Yep.
Ronnie James Dio, whether it be with his own band or something like Black Sabbath, or when he was his another band called Rainbow, I mean, wow, unbelievable voice. And Rob Halford, and there's a whole bunch of really great rock and roll voices, but Dio is certainly in the list, even though he's a troll. I mean, he literally looks like a troll.
He did.
He's
It's like a little elf. An elf with an afro.
yeah, incredibly ugly man. Oh well, that's life. All right, let me go here and grab this. And
He looks like what's that little thing from Harry Potter? The little golem
yes,
creature.
a
Dobby.
house
No,
house elf.
He looks like Dobby.
Yes, he does.
House
he
elf.
looks like Agra from the Dark Crystal.
He does. That is true. Yeah, it is true. He's such an ugly man. But insane pipes though. Insane pipes.
Yeah.
But anyway, Robert E. Howard Knight. Very nice.
Hey, you know who's in the Dark Crystal?
Huh?
Jeremy Renner.
Really? I didn't know
What?
that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was him, but he's just one of those little Muppets that looks like him.
Well, he is kind of a Muppet. But I'm glad he's recovered though, because that
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
a
well,
very unfortunate
it
situation. I'm glad
yeah.
he's better.
Oh, cool.
He and Doug is informing he was in a band called Elf before Rainbow. I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out.
Typecasting.
Well, yeah, right. But I'll have to listen to that because Ronnie he's ridiculous voice, dude. Anyway, let me see what I got here. So I have 6 choices tonight. I can choose amongst them Eric Hawkins, the weird teller of tales. Okay. Or I could go with Alpha Atlantean Proto. Very
Cool.
nice. Amy, Death's Black Rider. Because that's how we envision Amy,
Oh.
Yes. Of course, Elrod, a singer of the race. These are all plays on various Howard titles, by the way. Number 5, I got Honey, the Texas Wildcat, going with the character she likes. And of course, last but certainly not least, we have to end on a good Conan with Jerry of the Red Nails. So,
Ooh.
what am
Oh,
I
those
gonna
are fancy.
pick? That's tough.
Mm.
Alpha Protos scared me, and then it became really good.
Well, he's a good guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you're welcome. But to be fair, Elrod wins. But I like Jerry's too.
I like Melissa's from last week. It was for this week.
Yeah, that was really good. Yep, I'm done. I did it. I did a thing. But it's kind of unfair because there are a couple of genres that Elrod's art really leans to. One is Lord of the Rings, and the other is Howard.
Manly tale. Tales of manliness.
Yes. But anyway, I didn't matter what I thought at all. It's irrelevant. My opinion. It's quite irrelevant. Oh well. I tried, Elrod. I tried.
I voted for Elrod too.
My mom did too.
That's good. That's good.
Well, wait, she doesn't even have the internet. She lied to me.
Oh
Maybe
no.
she's mailing in a postcard.
She's like, I voted for you with the rotary phone.
Okay.
Wow,
Another
Doug says
brother.
that Ronnie James Dio sang doo-wop in the 50s as well as played trumpet. I didn't know that. And when he became popular, when he hit, he was an older dude, to be fair. He was. He was already balding the first time I saw him. And he had that weird afro balding thing, and it's just not good. It's not good. It's really not good. But that voice, man, because I don't know, Eric,
Doesn't matter.
and maybe you as well, Elrod and Jerry. Do you guys remember the Summer of Dio?
Was that like the Summer of Sam?
It was like 86 or 85, maybe
Was
87.
that when Ronnie Dio was strangling people in New York
No, that's when they
because the dog told him
dropped
to?
their named album, Dio. But
I
that
do remember the
summer,
That one, the
album.
one with like the
well, that's the
the
only
cool
thing it
cover
was on the
with the governor on the
radio.
back.
It was the only thing MTV cared about. It was just everywhere for that entire summer. It was Dio, Dio, Dio.
Kill, 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 kill.
Maybe it was 86. I can't remember. But yeah, that was a great album. Anyway, thank you very much, Honey, Amy, Jerry, Elrod, and of course, Alpha Proto. Very nice to see you here, by the way, Alpha Proto. But
I got
today's
points.
winner is, by 2 points, Eric
Ooh, that's close.
Hawkins. Eric Hawkins.
Woohoo!
Claps. Claps. Sorry, Elrod and Jerry, I voted for you, but I was outvoted.
My mom failed me.
Yeah,
It's the power
Oh.
of democracy.
the power of democracy. But do keep in mind, Eric does cheat. So it is a thing. But nevertheless, let me get rid of this.
According to Mike, it is.
Is it? All right. So thank you guys for coming in. And of course, Howard is great. Just like with the other classics we've been looking at with Edgar Rice Burroughs, Robert E. Howard. I'm sure we'll do H.P. Lovecraft soon. We should probably do Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, there's that era.
Yes, yes.
Although I think Edgar is a bit
Lovecraft's in
older.
August.
Lovecraft's in
Oh.
August. Okay. But I mean,
Right after Elvis Week.
Oh.
Elvis Week.
Oh.
Wow,
I'll have
goodness
to
gracious.
bring in
If you
Lovecraft.
haven't read any of these writers,
Oh.
do so. Do yourself a favor, because being that they're pulp, these are, excuse me, really fun to read. They don't drag on. These books are not 800 pages, right? They're straight to
filler.
it. Great pacing in these books. I know many of us, especially us older people, we were required to read things like Catcher in the Rye, War
book
and
sucks.
Peace, all that kind of nonsense. We were required. And I think War and Peace was simply punishment from the teachers, to be honest with you.
But the teachers never read them.
Probably not. They probably just used the Cliff Notes. But I mean, everybody in my generation had read that damn Catcher in the Rye. Does anyone actually like that book?
No.
No, it's just about an
No,
angry
it's
young man.
bad.
It's just some pissed off
It is
young man.
horrible.
It was
And I didn't
horrible.
read it until I was in my 30s. I thought, I'm going to read this because everybody says, it's supposed to be, a classic. That thing sucked.
No, it did, dude. I had to read it in school.
Wasn't that written by Captain America's dad?
No.
Yes. Who wrote it?
I can't remember his name. He's like a famous American writer who was
Salinger?
mentally
J.D. Salinger, right?
a Salinger.
The
Okay.
father of Captain America.
No.
Matt Salinger. Yes.
Really?
Oh God.
Matt Salinger, the Captain America from the Albert Pyun epic. 1990s Captain America.
Huh.
Oh, is that the one with the plastic shield that you could see through?
Yeah. It was.
No, that's Red Brown.
Oh,
Space
that
Mountain.
is Red Brown.
This
You're
is-
right. It is Red Brown.
This is the one where he fights the Italian Red Skull and has rubber ears
Yeah.
on his mask.
Oh,
That
right.
nobody-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's right
really
there on
bad
the
one.
I don't know if you can see that if it's not a bootleg you buy at a comic book convention. I
Your
don't think it
Oh,
ever
I'm
came
sure
out.
you can get it on. I'm sure it's on YouTube.
your trivia
yeah.
knowledge is stupid, Elrod.
It's because I was Matt Salinger's stunt double. And all he ever talked about was like, "Did you know my dad wrote The Catcher in the Rye?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't even like the bread."
Well, therefore, he probably doesn't even know his father because, from what I understand of Salinger, he was like an absent father and never there. He was like a psycho.
You know who his daughter is?
No,
The Adventures of Natty Gann.
that doesn't help me at all.
I just remember that movie because I saw it when I was little. Ray Wise. But
so his
he's
kids
now
went
married.
on. That's interesting.
She's married to the little annoying troll guy.
Ronnie James Dio.
The one that was funny for a minute. He's just as tiny, but he's fat. Pat and Oswald.
Oh, is that the one he killed?
Really?
His new. No, the one he married after he killed the first one is
fair.
Salinger's daughter.
As you do.
Wow.
As you do. Yeah.
Or if she knows that, she better get out of there.
Yeah, she better. Yeah.
I know.
Fat turd's gonna kill
She
her.
may be the one that killed her.
He does have
She may have
that.
pulled the trigger.
He does have that same kind of vibe as what's Brian Stelter on CNN? Like the creepy little
You could
perv.
play him in the movie.
He could.
I thought they were the same person.
Absolute creep. Anyway, cool. Let's wrap this up. So Eric, tell me, what are we doing next week?
Next week we'll have special guest Bonsart, and we'll be doing Night Watch, the steampunk tabletop RPG, available right now on Kickstarter.
Another RPG. I do like those. That is different, for sure. So come on back for that, guys. And we're always like to see Bones Art. And of course, Johan Alexander, amazing artist that he is. He has been really busy with his own stuff. And of course, we wish him the greatest luck. I think he's in the process of publishing number 3 or 4 right now in Indonesia.
I believe so.
Yeah. And it seems like he's gotten some reception from it, so that's really cool.
Love that for him.
Well, there's been quite a few, artists that I know with Marvel and such. It's because they're cheap, but there have been a bunch of artists come out of Indonesia in the past decade, actually.
Sure.
And it would be nice to see them become a comic book culture. It would be neat, because they certainly would read anime because that's going to filter down, not anime, manga. That's going to filter down from Japan. So I'm sure they read that anyway. But it would be neat to see them have their own culture of it, right? It would be neat, and they are producing people who do that, like Johan. Whereas I don't think we'll ever see that in China because China, they're so obsessed with just copying somebody else's thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they truly are just obsessed with it. I don't get it, but it is what it is.
Disney.
But I mean, one of the things, the real comic book, the waning in the world of comic books is in America, man. I really hope it picks up.
Yeah.
It's not cool, man.
I don't think so.
Well, we are
Newspapers
gonna.
are gone.
Well, yeah, but we're gonna roll out of this era, dude.
Yeah.
Well, we will. And the future is not necessarily paper comic books. It might well be something like motion comic, with tablets and stuff like that. But
tablets.
I hope it does something. We'll see. I don't know. The young generation seems to have literally 0 seconds of attention span, so I don't know.
But they're still reading manga.
It's just shocking how easily they're distracted. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so come back for that. But anyway, let's see what everybody's doing. Girls, hi. So tell me about pizza and why it's the best food. Go ahead.
Well, because it has all of the basic food groups, right?
Yep.
And you can have it spicy or you can have it not spicy. Or if you're sharing it with someone who likes spicy and you don't, then you can have the spicy stuff on one side and then all the vegetables and mild stuff on the other.
It is indeed versatile. You are correct. I also make that argument for hamburgers. Well, it is it's the perfect food because it has all the food groups in one place.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can just. It starts getting pretty tall if you start piling up too many of the veggies on a burger, but it's still good.
Yeah.
Oh, I never make that mistake. In
No.
my entire life, I've seen people when they make them at home, they always make the burger too big, and that's a mistake.
Right.
Make it thin.
Oh,
Don't do it to yourself. Make it thin, and you'll find that you enjoy your hamburger a lot better. Yep.
interesting. Now,
Yeah.
if you
You
want
know
to
what
make
else is
a.
annoying? Is
Mhm.
when they
What's
put the
that?
toppings on the bottom.
Oh,
Oh,
that's just that's
California style?
unacceptable. You're right. You're right. It's like with hot dogs. It's like, of course it goes on top. What are you doing?
That's why it's called toppings.
That's right.
Otherwise, that wouldn't be what they call it.
That's
Like,
just
yeah,
that's
I don't.
just Satanism.
You mean hamburger or pizza?
All of
Hamburger.
them. It's all
Pizza too.
toppings: hamburgers,
Well, I
hot
mean,
dogs, and
nobody
pizza.
Chicago.
pizza.
Well, down in
Nobody puts
Chicago,
top.
they put it on the bottom.
Well,
No.
Chicago.
Chicago
Wait
is
a minute.
Chicago is a communist nightmare. Come on now.
They're compromised. Yeah,
It
that's
started with the
true.
pizza because it's
Yeah.
red.
Did you see their what is their mayor's names? That idiot. God, he's so stupid.
The mayor or the governor?
No, they're both, but I'm talking about the mayor.
The governor we call Java.
No,
He
the
looks
black
like
dude,
it,
the black
Mayor
racist.
Pritzker.
He's
Oh,
openly
yeah.
and proudly racist black guy, right?
Proudly
Proudly so. But Trump is living rent free in his head, dude. Trump is deep under his skin, deep. He's screaming all kind of stuff. He's breaking the Constitution. Oh my God, dude! It's like, stop. Nothing you just said is accurate. Back up.
Mm-hmm.
Be a little bit smarter about your politics, right?
Yep.
But he's an insane guy. That guy's something's gonna happen to him. I don't know what, but because
Oh wow.
Is
the
that a
people of
threat?
Chicago are no, not for me. The people of Chicago are really pissed. His approval rating's like what, 6%?
Whoa.
It's low.
I don't know.
It's real low. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the people in Chicago are just absolutely pissed. Because
Yeah, but they'll vote for him again.
they might. You never know,
They
right?
will. They will.
Yeah. They had that zombie lady
Look at
before. I didn't think
California
it
with
could get worse,
Newsom.
but it
They
did.
hated him and they voted for him again.
Yeah. But anyway,
Oh yeah, that bug-eyed lady.
she looked like a zombie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, no, Beetlejuice, yeah. That's right. But whatever, it's got problems. And it's unfortunate because it is one of our great cities, or it could be.
Used to be.
Did you get Breckenridge down there?
It's
Yeah,
a
we'll go with
gorgeous city,
used to
man.
be.
All that water moving through it. I mean, it's kind of the Venice of America, right?
Oh,
It's
different
the
city.
potential there, if have any of you been to Chicago?
Oh
Yes.
gosh, I'd be scared
Yeah.
to.
Well,
No, it's shooting season.
that's true. But I went
That's every
long.
season up there.
I went way back in the late '80s, early '90s when I was a musician, and
Oh,
dude, the Romanesque stone work in Chicago is insanely gorgeous. It really is a
wow.
beautiful city. It really
I
is.
wonder how much it would
I actually got to
survive.
see Michael Jordan play up there.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I actually
The
have
guy from
traveled
Space
the
Jam?
waterway, going through
Mhm.
the drop into the Mississippi out of the Great Lake, right? And from the waterline, Chicago's even more beautiful. It really is nice when you travel because you can move right through the city on water,
Mm.
right? It's that
I
kind
wonder
of
if
city.
there's
It's
any
like I said,
pilots
it's like
down
Venice.
there.
But whatever, it's an absolute shithole now. So
Maybe someday it'll be
all right,
safe.
so the girls have told me about pizza,
Mhm.
and
Which is
that's
very
good.
important.
I haven't had proper pizza in. Well, no, that's not true. I did find a place up in Fukuoka. There are two places that have good pizza, but it's a
Oh, just
3-hour ride for pizza.
ugh. Well, can you get it delivered?
No, it's not. It's a very, very expensive pizza. It's like $50
Oh,
pizza.
what?
Yeah.
Are you telling me it's $50 good or
No, it's a great pizza, but it's
not 3 hours?
it's a restaurant in the Ritz Carlton.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
it's like you're paying for the privilege of being near the hotel. basically.
And they just happen to have good pizza.
Yeah, no, that's one of those places you're spending $200-300 a person easy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not recommended. But the problem is it is the best Italian restaurant I've ever been to in Japan. So it's difficult not to go and spend that money a couple times a year.
Right, because especially if you're there on business or something, I bet. Like,
Yeah. I
be there
perform up in
anyway.
the city a lot. But it's stupid expensive. Don't pay $50 for a pizza. Don't do that.
Well, we don't have to here, guys.
No. Anyway, thank you, girls. Moving along here, Alpha Proto. Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
I liked your piece. It was very cool.
Oh, thanks. I like showing off my piece.
Uh-oh.
It came out awesome.
Last time I showed off my piece, I got in trouble.
Which tends to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that thing
free
away.
picture.
I hear that in the urbanite community, they use a word that has a double meaning. They say biscuit.
Biscuit. That's a double meaning?
It does. It can mean a male genitalia, but it can also mean a gun.
That sounds
I'm not
terrible.
familiar with that.
Well, you said peace, and you were making a sex joke, and I threw it
was?
back at you.
What? What are you talking about?
How
I was
dare you,
speaking urbanites.
What? I was talking about my piece.
Oh, fair enough. Anyway,
Yeah.
you guys never heard this slang, biscuit?
No.
Not familiar with that.
Yeah, no.
It's like bread.
The
It's kind of like a
Utes,
scone.
Utes use it to talk about guns, usually illegal guns, that they're not supposed to have.
No, you're thinking of cummerbund.
No. I'm
They
thinking of
call it
biscuit.
cummerbund, I believe.
They also use it for male genitalia. They also use it for just a handsome man.
Oh. We call them scones.
Yeah, fair enough. But, I'm just trying to help you out.
The females we call it John Thomas.
Yeah. Whereabouts in the planet are you, Alpha Proto?
I'm in Texas.
Woo!
Is that the good part of Texas or the bad part?
Oh, I'm like
There's no bad part.
central, like north central.
Okay. Well, I hear
like
Austin's
around where
a bit
Kelly
out of
Clarkson's
control.
from.
Oh,
I don't go
Kelly.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Clarksonville.
Yeah. So tell me, Texas, what's the best dish? What does Texas have other than barbecue?
Steak.
I don't really know. I don't
Something
travel
with
that
barbecue
much.
on.
Austin was
Well,
like most Texas place I've ever. Well, I went to the stockyards in Fort Worth. That was pretty cool. But I don't know. I don't really go out.
Well, what does your mama cook?
Oh, she doesn't cook anything now. She's dead.
Well, when she was not dead.
She cooks worms.
Oh, she cooked beans all the time.
Beans. Interesting.
The magical fruit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think my mother's best dish was glazed ham.
Oh, that's good. You put pineapple.
That's
on
what kids today call their private part.
Oh, fair. My grandmother's best dish was Sunday pot roast. Boy, was that good, man.
Pot roast.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Kids talk about glazing all the time nowadays.
Yeah, they're like, that glazing ham, baby.
Yeah, but glazing for them, I think, means to prop something up, to promote, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
it's like you
glazed
get
ham.
icing and then you just drizzle it all over something.
Yes, I do attempt to understand the modern lingo. I try.
Drizzle.
Yeah. But it can be hard sometimes, especially when they're drunk.
Oh, I don't hang around drunk people. They scare me.
Yeah, well, I'm watching on the YouTubes. You see. Anyway,
People post
cool.
when they're
Well,
drunk, I guess.
thank you very much for coming in, Alpha Proto. I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Hyper Dragon Ball Z has 1 week of testing before we announce the trailer, and yeah, Rick Piper's book. I'm supposed to work on that or something, but yeah, good for y'all.
Cool. So you're taking over duties for John Dillard?
Well, I guess so. I have his blessing,
Sure, sure.
I do.
I know, no, I wasn't being sarcastic.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I know John's busy with some other. He's
Mhm.
got some opportunities right now, and that's great. Cool, rock on, dude. Elrod, is there anything that you would like to say to the peeps?
Well said.
They know what that means.
They
Peeps.
peeps. Very well.
If you
Thank
know, you
you.
know.
If you know, you know.
I hate peeps. Actually, peeps is slang for like terrible marshmallow treat.
Oh, I hate those
They're
things. Yeah, I
disgusting.
hated those things. They're disgusting. That is true. Would
I
you
haven't
like?
talked to my brother for 3 years because he revealed to me he went to the Peep store.
Oh no, that's horrible. That
Oh,
is
That's the
horrible.
last time we talked.
that is pretty dirty going to those peep shows.
Oh goodness gracious! You know what? Actually, the Easter candy I liked was the egg, the chocolate egg that had like cream inside of it.
Oh, Cadbury eggs suck too.
Oh.
Oh,
Not a big
they
fan.
shrunk
That was
them too.
what I liked when I
Hey.
was little because it was like, oh, it's messy and sugary. Now it's just like, oh, this is disgusting.
Probably, but I mean, he's messing with my childhood.
Oh, but they have them with caramel filling. That sounds good, but I'm just like, oh, it's got to be so messy. It's like a hand grenade of stickiness.
Well, let's be fair. The best candy bar or candy of all time is a whatchamacallit. So, end of conversation.
There you go.
What'd you call it?
Whatchamacallit.
A what?
What'd you call
A whatchamacallit.
Correct. Is it a Snickers? No.
it? What about the $100 million bar, which
Yeah.
is now like a $100 bar?
Yeah, those
Thanks
ones,
to
I
inflation.
that's a good memory for me because my grandmother kept them in a drawer, and anytime I was a good boy, I'd get one.
Ooh. So you behaved yourself a lot, right?
Well, yeah, of course, I was a good boy anyway. Do I sound like a
Right.
bad boy? I'm by my nature the
Mhm.
best boy.
There you go.
Yes,
So you got plenty of $100 million bars.
I did.
When he's gouging out eyes and ripping
Hey,
off
I
ears.
told you that was an accident the
This
first
was for
time.
you, Grandma. Thanks for those
Like,
watch
Second
cards.
time was his fault, and the third time was extra his fault.
Wait.
It's not even funny, Jerry, because I literally have popped out 3 eyeballs in my life. Not mine,
That's horrifying.
other people's. It
Well,
wasn't my well. First of all, it was only 2 eyeballs. The other one was an ear. That's not my
At
fault.
least it's an even number.
That's true. Now, because I was a bouncer, and the little guys are easy to control. Women, no problem. But those big guys, like when you get like football guys coming into strip club for after a game or something like that, and they get drunk, man, the big guys, you got to get up and hold them. You got to lock them down, right?
Right,
And they're twisting around, and I don't know. I have this habit of my thumb sticking out when I'm grappling, and it just catches the eye, man, twice.
Oh, it's not good.
It's not good, dude. It's not good.
Not good at all.
It was accidents. They did it to themselves, though. It's their fault. The cop said so.
Yeah.
So it's official.
Cop would be.
Okay.
There you go.
Carpe diem. Yeah. But now there's all those big guys, man. You got to lock out. You can't play around. You got to lock right into them, man.
Yep. Don't give them a chance to take their own eyes.
No, well, drunk people are stupid. So.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sadly.
By definition, yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally what the word means.
But anyway,
I feel like I get smarter when I'm drunk. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Of course, you feel like you're getting smarter. Yeah. But I don't know. It's probably a good reason why I'm not really much of a drinker at all, and I don't really care for porn and all that kind of stuff because of working in strip clubs for 12 years, dude.
See what it does.
You've been desensitized to it.
I have because
Well, you've seen the ugly side of all that too. So you're like, nah.
yeah, no, yeah, dude. The strippers are some of the worst humans you'll ever meet. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And people come
I
in
can
and give
change
them
her.
money.
I can fix her.
Yeah, right.
I just got to give her enough 50s.
Yeah, just make sure you take her to rehab first.
Life material.
The strippers
Take
are
her home.
weird because
Mom,
they don't even.
nicest girl smiled at me.
Would you like to guess what when I was working? Of course, I haven't done this in a very long time, almost 30 years. But Would you like to guess what the drug of preferred drug was for strippers when I was working?
Ritalin?
Glitter?
Heroin.
Yeah, I would say heroin.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Heroin.
say.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's the thing now, right?
Yeah, but dude, heroin is really bad shit, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really, really, really not good. You know?
That's what's killing America right now.
I thought that was fentanyl from Mexico.
Well,
Way
that's
of
from
China.
China,
Fentanyl's
by
part
way
of
of
it.
China. Yeah, I don't really know what fentanyl is. I've been over here all this time. But yeah, no
Well, heroin ain't what it
heroin
used to be either. It just
and
instantly kills you now.
yeah, cocaine and stuff like that was certainly part of it. But I just was such a radical choice, man. Heroin. It's so radical.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be a bad girl or a bad boy, go to maybe smoke a joint or do some shots. But I mean, heroin. That's kind of a jump.
Mm.
Mhm.
Anyway, don't do it,
That's
folks.
just
Drugs are bad for you.
absolutely.
Yeah, just say
Crack is
no.
whack.
Just say
Works for me.
no. Get some help.
I
Listen
pity
to
the
Michael,
fools that don't promote the
not
drugs.
Big Mike, the good Mike. Okay.
Oh.
That's right.
Oh,
Ew.
yeah, right. Anyway, thank you all very much for coming in. Eric, tell us what you're working on, and you can take us out of here today. I need a namaste, a
Oh,
proper one. Jeff always leaves me hanging, dude.
shoot. I don't have a namaste prepared, but as always, I'm working on the Zombieful World of Oz. Maybe this year 6 will come out, maybe not. I don't know. I did have another idea for a graphic novel, so I don't know if I'm going to do that before I finish 6 or not. Too much going on in my head. But yeah, I guess stay out of LA, people, and stay safe.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to do a namaste.
A
Oh, go ahead.
namaste?
Can-
Sure, give us a namaste. Go
Wait,
ahead.
wait,
Oh yeah.
whoa. Can I tell you what I got going on first?
Oh, did I not
Okay.
talk to you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go
You
ahead.
did not.
I apologize.
That's
Get
all
ready,
right.
Alpha.
So I would say anybody who's interested, check out my YouTube channel. I have a weekly series where I've been reviewing the Amazing Spider-Man going all the way back to Amazing Fantasy 15. And I look at the art of it, and it's a real lesson in storytelling, visual composition, different psychology of storytelling from these early comic examples. And I last week I had a live stream with a super amazing guy named Nick Caputo, who is a New York comic historian.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
he brought incredible knowledge of early Marvel stuff, specifically Steve Ditko. He has an amazing blog we talked about. So I would say check out my YouTube channel. I put out stuff all the time. Again, this is a weekly series I do, and then I have other videos. I just did one on the do's and don'ts of character design. So again, tips for if you want to be a comic book artist, here are some things you should think about when creating new characters. And then something I've never talked about here, but I just want to point out, I do have comics for sale on eBay. I worked for about 6 years as the primary interior artist for Counterpoint Comics, their original series, the first series that came out from Counterpoint Comics called Naughty and Nice. And I have a bunch of those issues that are up, and some of those are really hard to get. There's some variant covers, there's some first appearances type things. Everything is signed, and those are all up on eBay. So you can either check out it's Naughty NOTTI and the ampersand sign Nice NYCE. You can search that way. You can also search by me, and my eBay ID here is JERAS51. And you can check out and see if you're interested. If you're a comic book collector, some of these are a little hard to get. They're made in pretty small quantities. So I've seen some of these go for sometimes as much as $125 online, and I've got covers up here for anywhere from 20. I think the most I have is $50 for the rarest book up there. So check them out.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Jerry. And sorry about that.
No
Now,
worries.
Amran says that you sound like a younger Chester. High praise.
Wow.
Alpha, namaste us out of here, man.
Oh, yes. Before you criticize someone, walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you do, you're a mile away and you have their shoes.
Namaste. That's a very good point. That's a good point.
Namaste.
Later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Why does everyone talk during the music? I watch the show every week and everyone's
Horrible.
during the credits.
Oh, that music. Oh, who chose that? It hurts the ears.